Did you hear me? It is tax-free. My Zannies, my hookers, my super chats too. Hit that button, cause every single super chat I got it tax-free. Tax-free. Take out your pill bottles, shake your pills, shake your pills, because it's gonna be tax-free, tax-free, tax-free. Tell your wiggies that we got it. Tax-free in my little tin shack. Cats flying in tornadoes. Guns
up and down. Let's get the guns out.
Gun. Shake it around when
it's tax-free, bitches. Wiggle. All right, guys, how's it going? What a day in Minnesota. It's a fun one today. We've got a lot of fun things happening. This photo actually happened today, as I understand it. Look at that. If only you knew how bad things were. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. So what do we got today for you? Well, first of all, we got Xcoma with our 50 North Korean Corona saying tax-free. Tax-free. Yes, I got to get the ceiling cats down in a second. Since we're going to hit the gold chat. But no, so today, if you're unaware, if you haven't seen any of the previous streams, we had the Omnibus hearing. So Nick finally got to tell his story, although he didn't get to tell his story, and then hopefully he'll tell his story in the future. But we had the Omnibus hearing. Ralph showed up in Minnesota. He was on the streets pressing people, except he got pressed. Let's take a quick look at that, shall we? Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. This is the version with the... they had like the James Bond playing for this, but somebody edited it out. So let's have a look.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, aren't you Ralph, dude?
I'm not Ralph.
I was just...
Friendly Minnesotan man shows up. Oh, hello there. Are you... No, that's... what is that? Irish or something? I don't know. How do Minnesotans sound like Canadians, right? I'll try and work on my Canadian, but it's just like a friendly hello, man. Are you Ralph? No, I'm not Ralph.
Watching Steel Toe, man, on the way dropping my son off. You should go box that dude, man.
My name's not Ethan Ralph now.
Oh,
so this is the 500 IQ play that can only come from Ethan Ralph. Guy asks, hey, are you Ralph? No, I'm not Ethan Ralph. I don't know who Ethan Ralph is. Holy shit. What a big brain move that is. What a power play. But this friendly Steel Toe morning show watcher dropping off his son. And Ralph is so intimidated by a father that has contact with their children, he forgets his own identity, abandoning the name that his daddy gave him. I know a lot of people, if you're following the updates today, would be hearing that phrase. And what does it mean? What does it mean to abandon the name that your daddy gave you? And what has it got to do with Ralph? Well, the thing is, Jim Medicare, why won't you die, Medicare? That Medicare. He changed his name or something to like James Augustine or something. I can't remember. Or maybe they changed it from it. But Ralph talked about this for weeks. He literally went on rants day after day after day saying, Jim, how dare you abandon the name that your father gave you, you coward. And this is when Ralph had already abandoned the country his father gave him by moving to Mexico. But now Ralph has forgotten his own name. He is so intimidated by the Steel Toe Morning Show crew. I mean, we have to say it. Aaron stocks are on the rise. It's a big win for the Toe.
not? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were eating out. Hey, Pat, man, you smell like booze, bro. You don't
Is that right?
Like that?
I don't smell like booze, though.
You smell like booze, dude. Oh, friendly Minnesotan. He's got his undershirt on. He's got his heat tech. He's a dad. Oh, look at that. So you love to see it. You love to see it.
Smokes, bro.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, you should go boxing, dude.
I should go box Aaron?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but thank you.
Steel Toe show?
No, I don't know who that is.
So sad. So sad. Ralph? So we'll talk about the Ralph stuff a little bit later because it looks like people voted. They want to hear about the update from the... they want to see the update of the Omnibus hearing first. Oh, no, sorry. They want the new public... Wait, you guys still got a time to vote, all right? While I get these ceiling cats down, you guys can vote. This will be a binding poll in like a minute or so. But also Tuesday money. Let's say, what is it today? It's a Thursday. Thank you. But they sent a super sticker in. Much appreciated. All right. I'll be right back. Right back, boys.
wiggle.
I got the cats ready, so I just need to deploy them.
Wiggle. It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle. You best not fold the bullshit because these super chats, they all tax-free. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
All right,
wiggle, wiggle.
we're back. Oh no,
Yo,
the cats
Faye.
are all messed up. What's going on? This one's like lost its orientation. There we go. There we go. The cats are back in town, boys. Dragon Treasure says for the raid on Tuesday. Yes, thank you for the kickback. Much appreciated. So let us see, where does the vote stand now? People want to hear the Omnibus. No, it's neck and neck. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well. We'll have to. Well, why don't we warm up with some Nick clips first and see what he's been saying? I'm not sure what these are named because these are directly from the farms. This one, we'll do these Nick clips and then we'll go into whatever people vote for. I think this take like 4 or 5 minutes. I guess we'll just do this first one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See.
I saw his stream. It seemed like his claim was that you were trying to. I saw his stream. It seemed like his claim was that you were trying to suppress court video.
All right. So this is about legal mindset. Legal mindset, more like legal. Well, you know. So what happened is Andrew put up a stream and then a video about how I'm trying to get rid of those. There we go. About how Nick is trying to hide or suppress cameras in the courtroom. Let's see what Nick has to say about that.
I saw his stream. It seemed like his claim was that you were trying to suppress court video. Again, if anyone thinks I'm trying to suppress court video.
Okay, so if anyone thinks he's trying to suppress court video, you must be crazy. That's the implication here, right?
Oh, does he mean does he mean when we opposed the request to record the pretrial hearings that there's a rule that says you can't record them?
Oh, wait a minute. Is anyone crazy enough to think I'm trying to suppress video? Oh, you mean when we tried to suppress video in the courtroom? Yeah, we tried to suppress that. Yes, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, we did oppose that.
I mean, he made it 26 seconds before he lied. That's pretty good. That might be a record for 2024, Nick. Who can say? It's a bit of a thinker. He's realized what he's done. He's like, that's the record scratch. It's like, whoop. Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
So, I mean, there's a specific rule that says that these things can't be broadcast or recorded. And so all we did was say,
well, if there was a specific rule that it wasn't going to be recorded anyway, why'd you feel the need to send the motion through? Surely it would have just happened in a matter of course, right?
Yeah, let's just enforce the rule there, Judge. And there are reasons for the rule, and those reasons were laid out in the motion. But I did see, well, if you want to see someone with no integrity.
I wish this clip was a little bit longer because I want to see who that person is with no integrity, unless it's the man sitting right in front of me. But who can say? That's the first one. So we didn't suppress no booty cam footage. Oh, yeah, we tried to suppress everything. But it was kind of an expected result anyway, so it's not like that big of a surprise. And the judge basically said that the request to have a live cam or recording of the trial was premature because it was just the omnibus hearing, not the actual trial. So it should come back. It should come back. And I think based off of today's hearing, they'd be more likely to broadcast it because it sounded like 19 people were in attendance. And apparently Nick had to gingerly say, could you guys squeeze over so there's more room on the bench? So it seems like that would encourage the proceedings to be broadcast because they obviously want to make room for everybody. What is this next one I think is about? Let's see.
Okay. Right-wing extremist says, show that first negative cocaine drug test result and I'll believe the rest. It's not like the prosecution doesn't already have it. Dude, that every negative... Wait, show the first negative cocaine drug test result. But if you already know it's negative.
Again, like it's amazing because he seems to lie every 26 seconds in these clips. But the guy is obviously asking, show us a negative test from the first hair follicle test that Nick took, which he has never shown, and we know is positive for cocaine use. If it is negative, then why doesn't Nick show it? But then Nick is saying, well, if you know it's negative, why do I need to show it? You haven't showed it. An absolutely disingenuous, gaslighting answer. It's like, well, you already know it's negative. Why do you show it? Why are you saying that? Obviously, the guy is clearly saying, if it's negative, then just show us the negative test.
Again, guys, if I didn't have exclusively negative tests, I wouldn't have my children back.
No, because here's the thing: drug addicts do get their kids back, and yes, the test, the urine analysis tests that Nick has been sending in were clean, but they only were started to record them about 2 weeks after he was actually arrested. Now, there is an in between that time, as we've mentioned many times before. Nick did an initial hair follicle test that he refuses to submit to the prosecution, and he has a right to not incriminate himself. And there actually may have been some tomfoolery afoot, that the CHIPS person actually got a hold of that when they shouldn't have, because it was the product of a lawyer work product, which should be confidential. But they got it somehow, and they want to see it because they know it's positive, but Nick is suppressing it. And like I said, it's his right. But the idea that he has a positive, this first test is clean, is bullshit. And everybody knows it's bullshit. Nobody, even the supporters, know that Nick is not clean. Or he was, well, maybe he's clean now. Sure, he'll be clean now. But everybody knows at the time he was arrested, he was far from clean. Nobody's arguing that he's on the straight and narrow, sober, and not using any drugs at that time. Now, you could probably argue that he is. I think that since he started pissing in the cup, he's been clean. But this is just so disingenuous. Why do people even, like, he does this all the time too. It's very, very frustrating.
There's just no way around it. You know, people are like, he tested positive for alcohol on his first test. You're right. I did. I wasn't under restriction.
Objection. Again, he's changing the story. What he said is after he was arrested, he got rid of all of the alcohol in his house. He just moved it to his fucking trap house next door where April lived, that we reviewed on the last stream. But he was telling his audience that from the moment he was arrested, he was clean of alcohol. And that's just not true, because he literally pissed hot in a test on the day of the CHIPS hearing that we're going to review very shortly.
They had not told me
until they asked him, and there's like 2 weeks later, he was still drinking for 2 weeks at this point.
That I could not drink alcohol. They hadn't told me anything, actually. It's like people are like, can't believe it. It's like, well, yeah.
All right. And I think we've got one more here, and then I'll check the results of the poll. This one's 2 minutes, though, so it's a little bit longer. It must be good content. Let's see.
Vaz Kalma says, we all saw the meltdown stream, big guy. You had white powder all over your nose. Continuing to gaslight everyone is why everyone hates you now. I haven't gaslit anyone.
Funny thing about this is actually gaslighting at this very moment. Stop I haven't gaslit anyone, you crazy bitch.
That's the weird
but Nick
thing.
never
People
lies.
keep
Nick never
saying
lies.
I'm making claims about one thing or another, but I'm not making any claims about anything.
You psycho. I'm not making any claims up about the government conspiring against me. I'm not making anything up about the cops planting evidence. I'm not making anything up about not being sober, not drinking until the judge asked me to. You crazy bitch. Why do you think I'm gaslighting you? This is ridiculous. Go back to your insane asylum.
Like, look at him denying this or admitting that or saying it's this. I'm not actually doing any of that.
Yes, indeed.
I haven't done it. I haven't commented on it.
He has, though.
I haven't. In fact, so here's what gaslighting is.
I wish this was just like cut in with like every instance of him gaslighting. I mean, that would be like a 3-hour clip, though.
Gaslighting is the attempt through rhetoric or language or whatever to convince someone that what they know to be true is not true, or that what they know to be not true is true. Okay? To falsely convince someone of that, not just persuade them to what a true thing is, but to falsely persuade them into believing that which they know to be the opposite. I'm pretty sure the thing I have consistently said is, man, it really sucks that I don't get to tell my side of the story. And people will judge me based on the one side of the story that comes out. That fucking sucks.
Well, part of that's true, is that people will judge you. I can agree with that.
But that's the way it goes, because it can't yet tell the full story. Can't do it. And I just have to deal with that. And I just have to sit there and fucking suck it up and realize that some people are going to take a negative impression. And I probably, for many people, will never be able to convince them, even if I show them proof, which I will.
So, okay, that proof's coming. 2 more weeks, trust the plan. It's definitely going to happen. The funny thing is, Nick has been saying like he couldn't wait for the omnibus hearing because it's his turn to tell his side of the story. Why hasn't he told it today? Well, it didn't come up today. Of course it didn't, because it's just a delaying tactic. If you say you're going to tell the truth in like 6 months, everyone will call you bullshit. If you say you can't say it now, it's bullshit. But if you say it's like a certain distance away, people will be, oh, okay, yeah, I can just wait a couple of days and find out for myself. So if you keep saying like 2 more weeks or, trust the plan, like unironically, it is very good at convincing dullards, especially the ones that are continuing to support him. So yeah, he said he was going to tell his story this day, but it did not come out. And it wasn't supposed to come out because it's an omnibus hearing. It's not the actual trial. But again, it's just this constant pushing back things, kicking it down the road, and it's never going to come out. He's never going to show this stuff because he doesn't want you to see this stuff. That's why he's been blocking it, because it's embarrassing. And, fair enough. I would block it too if I was in his situation, because I know that house is disgusting and filthy, and there's like little tunnels going through the laundry and shit. But still, it's just the hypocrisy of it. That's the worst part.
One point here. Show them proof that what they believed about a situation is wrong. Even if I show them proof, they still won't take it. I have to accept that that's the fucking price that you have to pay. You have to wait.
Then why don't you just show that first hair follicle test? Why don't you show that proof? They're literally in the same stream. Someone asked that. There's this entire stream today. I think it was like 2 hours of basically just like yelling at Sean and Legal Mindset. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was talking to Sean at the same time. I was trying to catch little pieces of it. But if there's any really interesting nuggets of wisdom that he shared on that stream, I'd be happy to hear from the chat.
You don't get to talk. I've never told people to believe some other thing. I've never asked them to do anything else. I've said, you know what? People are going to make these determinations about you. And God, that sucks, man. That shit really fucking sucks.
He did actually. This person in the chat's right. He also yelled about yellow. I guess it's supposed to be Yellow Flash, but he literally told Yellow Flash, "If you don't believe my story, you should just delete yourself." So he tries to project this this opinion in public, where he's like, "Well, I never told anyone to do anything. I'm just doing my own thing. If you want to believe what you believe, that's fine." In public, he's like, "If you don't believe me, why don't you just go fucking end yourself, Yellow Flash?" It's just another lie.
Especially
it's all
stuff
lies.
I know to
it's
be
lies
untrue.
all the way down. No, not
but
Yellow
I don't
Fever.
get to.
That's what you've got
I don't
right now,
get
Max.
to bring that out, and I can't hold that against people.
There you go. There you go. Now, I said like the stream, but then Jerry said, Nick Rekieta said I didn't have to like the stream. As a matter of fact, I disliked the stream. What you think about that, A-logs? That's a good point, and there's no argument for that. So I guess that's another win for the Ralpha males, right? Or the Ralpha females, as people are calling him, since he ducked out on Aaron today. But let's see what people said on the binding vote. It looks like it's the omnibus hearing summary is what people want to see first. All right, we'll go to that. Let's see. It starts about here. In today's lineup. So who is this? Who is this diversity college campus hire photo? This is the alleged evil, dirty, grubby Kiwi farmers looking like regular fucking people in their proper like business casual or even full business suits. They look like, I'm actually impressed. Now, I said from the beginning that there's this idea that Kiwi farmers are like degenerate basement dwellers or something, but that's just not true. The reality is that they're all just, and this photo actually just confirms that. These are the people that Ralph was trying to A-log. Regular people. And he goes on to talk about how disheveled they look when he himself looked disgusting. Let me see if I can find a picture of Ralph when he went. Oh, we have one shot of Ralph. He decided to go in a baseball jersey. This is like the SCP-17 fat. I guess him on. They've got him on. He showed up like this. He was walking around, trying to press Kiwi farmers. He said he was going to be like getting his phone up in their faces. He was going to be recording their license plates. He was going to be intimidating them. The second one of them came and talked to him, he just cowered in fear. Like these people, like, this guy's like smiling at him. Like you've got this like that guy there. Where's the other one? They've got like there's a whole group of them. I think it's from Ethan's Twitter or something. Let me see. Here it is. So this is as far as Ralph was willing to get to the Kiwi farmers. A group of like well-groomed professionals. They even They even waved and smiled and blew kisses at him. And he was too cowardly to go up and talk to them. He says the Kiwi Freak Squad. The Kiwi Freak Squad. This is how Ralph looked today. This is how Ralph looked. You can see the dandruff, the skin peeling off his. Apparently, he's got a bald spot too on the back of his head, according to the farmers. But we'll go in to read their reports of what they saw in the courtroom from this group of people, and then we'll go through stuff. Sorry, this is the first recounting of the day's events from user Olivia Onions. So they said just ended 10 minutes ago as in regards to the trial. Literal nothing burger. Forgive my scribbles, but it's not worth transcribing on a PC. I mostly just wanted to focus on how everyone looked and acted. Also, I can't spell when I write quickly. So before the session, 10:13 a.m. in Minnesota. Ethan Ralph walking around before the session, surprisingly calm. Very gaunt, striped white and red jersey. So that was his baseball. I think it's like New York Yankees or something. He walked in as Nick Rekieta and wife were coming through security. Wife looks very gaunt and almost shell-shocked. 10:20, 10 minutes until trial time. Ralph talking to someone saying, yeah, I saw Nick Rekieta and wife and gave them a hug. Sounds tired, but sober and lucid. Wow, they're very impressive. Actually, I am actually impressed. Well done to Ralph. Ralph is taking notes, already has half a sheet full, can't make anything out. Massive bald spot on the top of his head, red skin, looks like he's sunburnt. And then Ralph read this one quote and began to seethe. Let me see. We'll see what Ralph said about that.
Does that look bald to anybody? Like, I'm not seeing any baldness here whatsoever.
Now, if Ralph had any reading comprehension, he would notice that the post said bald spot on the back of his head. So what does he do to disprove the rumors? He shows the front of his head.
Maybe we'll have to do like Trump and get Jimmy Fallon to rub
Show
my
us the
hair.
top of
But
your head, Ralph.
no baldness here, no.
Show us.
No baldness here, just impotency and you wanting to kill your mother.
That's a weird thing to say. Very weird thing to say. Wait. Back to this one. All right. So that is the pre-trial. And also Excumer says, tigers have striped skin, not just their fur. Is that true? That's kind of crazy. That's actually kind of blows my mind. I know polar bears have black skin, but their fur is like hollow, like the fibers, I don't know, hair filaments or whatever they're called, hollow. So that's what makes it white. That's actually really interesting if true. I almost don't believe you. Because if I shave a cat, like a black and white cat, its skin's not going to be black and white. It's just going to be like, I don't know. Now I'm curious about that. I really wonder. All right. Anyway, enough side tracking. We enter the courtroom, 10:30:01. Kayla looks very distressed, very dark eyes. Nick looks like he has not slept, slightly disheveled in a suit. 10:33. Nick Rekieta very gingerly asks people to scoot over in the benches for some reason. You could hear a pin drop. It's so quiet. I'm sitting almost right behind Ralph in the second bench, and there is a musky odor, but it could be the person in front. Now, I think that Ralph was sitting behind Mrs. Rackets, so that would mean the smells either coming from Ralph or Nick's wife, which is believable. 10:35. Nick Rekieta and Kayla Rekieta still in conference room. We had to shuffle a bit to make space. Now I'm settled right behind Ethan Ralph. Kayla and Nick and Kayla's mum enter. Mum and Kayla sit right next to Ralph. All look very sleep deprived. Very dark circles, red faces, disheveled hair. Mum keeps an arm around Kayla very tightly. She's leaning into her, almost sad to see. Nick keeps pushing up his chair slightly. He's doing this thing. I mean, to be fair, if you sit down a lot, you do that a lot. I do that a lot as well. 10:46. Shout out to the Steel Morning Toe Show. Another win for the Toe in this show. Oh my goodness. He can't keep getting away with it. They flat out don't like each other, says Nick Rekieta's lawyer. Aaron does not qualify as a concerned citizen. The video he has watched could not have been the defendant's. It came from a different platform with different elements, cops, and had elements added to it. She would have not signed the warrant. So what this is about is this is in Nick's motion that he filed like a few minutes before the deadline, basically, where he argues that the cops didn't see his original stream. They saw a clip of him being drunk and high on coke, and that was on Cog's channel. Now, Nick has a very strange argument where he's saying that because it was on a different channel, and there was a watermark added to it, it was digitally altered, and therefore it could not be proof of him being intoxicated and could not be used as as the basis for a warrant, and thus it should be thrown out. The warrant should be thrown out, and everything they found should be thrown out. That's what Nick is arguing. Now, I asked Sean about this on his stream today, and I said, well, if there's two copies of things, like there's original copy on Nick's show, and there's a secondary copy on Cog's channel, and if there is some question of whether it's been edited or not, would the judge perhaps just say, okay, well, if I look at both of these copies and they're not significantly different, if the content has not been changed in any way, then I'll just basically give it a pass. And he said that's pretty much what's probably going to happen. Now, there's always a chance it could go Nick's way. There's always a chance in every court case that could happen, but it's a pretty small chance. And it's kind of funny because Nick's actually been talking in his streams lately that in the past, having these minor details like that would be like an instant win for the defendant. But recently, the courts are basically like, I think we can let it slide. You know, they're getting a little bit more lenient on this fact, which is unfortunate for Nick. But that's what he's referring to. It doesn't seem like it's a very strong argument. Nick has a massive cowlick on the side of his head. I don't know what that is. What is it? What is a massive cowlick? Is that like a bruise or something? Very stringy looking hair with an attempt to be slicked back, but looks very greasy and shiny. I assume that he's very stressed up all night and to get that greasy look, right? 1048. Nick is keeping his head down a lot. Well, first of all, Kiwi farmer, a lot is not a real word. You need to put a space in there. Embarrassing, very embarrassing. We're going to chuck this up to a Ralph W. Kiwis don't know how to spell. Let me see. He only brought it up when the judge speaks. Nick's lawyer sounds like Boogie. What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Nick Rekieta's lawyer, Francis White, coming at you through the power of the internet. Oh my goodness, I wish I was there. And also Trucker Rob with a 10. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Says, howdy meme. How's it going, Trucker Rob? Let me see. 1050. Kayla and Mum still holding each other. There are two body cam footages. Nick keeps slightly shifting his chair as the lawyer speaks. All right, someone in chat has given me some information. A cowlick is a section of human hair that stands straight up or is like lies on an angle at all. Oh, I see. So it's like a cow licked your hair or something and it's like stand. Oh, okay. I see. Interesting. So just like disheveled look, basically. There are two body cam footages. Nick keeps slightly shifting in his chair as lawyer speaks. 10:55. Nick leans in and speaks to his lawyer while the other parties speak to Mrs. Pierce. Nick leans in again, looks slightly flustered. Cannot use April's testimony unless she testifies. Ralph hugs Kayla, whispers good luck, and shakes Nick's hand. Blech. That wife is just like, I know that Kayla's already been like shared around a lot, but now that she's been hugged by Ralph, it's time to put her out to the old glue factory. I mean, Nick already said that her body was destroyed, so he won't be too upset about that. Ralph, lazily filming a few parked cars right outside the courthouse, walked down the other way perfectly fine. Look, he looks lost. Nick looks lost. Why did I even come out here? That's the first report from this person. We've got another person we're going to read from. Although I should mention, the basic result of this, oh, my cat, my little cat, what's going on? There we go. It's not behaving. So the basic result of this trial is that there is one thing that went in Nick's favor, but everything else basically got pushed down the road. Now, Nick could have won everything today. If the gods were smiling, if Jesus owed him a solid for his Bible sermon studies and local streams, Nick could have had everything dismissed today, and he could have gone home a free man. That's not what's happened. Basically, they decided today that they need to review Nick's recent filing because they haven't given him time. This is like he submitted something. They have to go through it and check it, everything. It's going to take you a couple of days. But they did get one thing, which is that the body cam of April, after she was read her Miranda rights, will be excluded because, and fairly so actually, this is actually something that I agreed with on my stream 2 days ago. I said it was bullshit that the cops kept talking to her after she asked for a lawyer. But that is going to be excluded unless she testifies, and then they can include it. So that's the one thing that did go in Nick's favor. But otherwise, not much happened. And it didn't go great. Despite what he might tell you. Let me see. So there's another reporter from outside the courtroom. Let's have a look what this is. Continuing off. He said this first. Was at the courthouse. They made us put our phones in the locker. Nothing really happened. It was over in 30 minutes. Ended up unintentionally sitting next to Ethan Ralph, whose hair had been nearly completely grayed out. Imagine being Ethan Ralph and spending all that money on plane tickets for nothing. Nothing. Actually, I think, hey, how's it going, Kurt? I think Nick spent a lot of time yelling at you today, actually, in his stream. He's not very happy with your review of his legal document. You might want to check that out. Let me see. He says, continuing off, Ethan Ralph, dude, you also look sunburnt as fuck. You are not the best looking person there appearance-wise. Get back on your plane, you effing miserable loser. I also got to shake hands with Nick Rekieta after the hearing. Wanted to be polite and told him that I wished him the best of luck to him and his family. Say what you want about the guy, but at least he is a polite man in person too. Also took a selfie with him. Also brought my Mr. Medica hat along, but couldn't wear it in the hearing. Outside the courtroom, there is a big Native American Indian warrior statue. See, this is how you should treat locals in public. You don't go up and harass them. But, you know, you could maybe go up and wish them luck or something. There's nothing wrong with that. I can appreciate that. I'd probably say the same. Because honestly, that's what I do wish. I do wish for the best. I hope that everyone has a happy little ending. I just don't think it's going to happen. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Let me see what we got here. What is this? This is the part of the body cam that is being suppressed unless April testifies. Nick's motion asks the court to declare April's statements made to law enforcement following her invocation of Miranda rights to be inadmissible to the defendant's case unless April testifies at the trial and is subject to confrontation, and cites that the body cam recordings of deputies Brannis and Pumplum, both of whom Nick subpoenaed. To determine whether her statements are testimonial and therefore subject to the confrontation clause, you'd think that the judge would need to see the body cam footage that's cited in the motion. And then we have body cam presented as evidence to the court are public. And any investigative data presented as evidence in court shall become public. So that means if the body cam comes out in court, we get to see it, unless the judge otherwise orders it to be sealed. And there's also an advisory opinion which says, as active criminal investigation data, while the criminal investigation is still active and governed by Section 13.82, Subdivision 7, prosecutors presented portions of the body camera data as evidence in court as part of a criminal prosecution. As a result, the portions of the body cam data presented as evidence in court became and remain public data. Any remaining body cam data that was not presented as evidence would be reverted to the applicable classifications governed under 13.825 when the criminal investigation became inactive. And we actually read through the entire statute of how Minnesota handles these things. Basically, if it's part of the ongoing investigation, it's classified, or confidential, I should say, not classified, confidential. And if it's presented as evidence, then it becomes public, unless there is like a minor in it or something, perhaps. But if it's otherwise not used in an active investigation and it's like in a private home or something, it remains private, which means that anyone in there could disclose it with a consent form, which Nick would, of course, refuse to do. But that's how it stands at the moment. And yeah, seems pretty straightforward that any footage put into evidence at Omnibus hearing is public, meaning we get it. Also, I'm not sure it won't happen, but let the prosecutor decide to A-log Nick by moving for the entirety of both body cams to be entered into evidence under the rule of completeness that Nick threw a hissy fit about at the CPS hearing. And that says Rule 106, remainder of or related writings or recorded statements. When a writing or recorded statement or part thereof is introduced by a party, an adverse party may require that the introduction at that time or any other part of any other writing or recorded statement, which outright in fairness to be considered contemporaneously with it. There you go. So you've got some legal jargon in there as well. That's pretty much a summary of what happened inside the courtroom, but we still get to see what happened outside the courtroom. But it looks like people wanted to see the new matter of public interest next. So that is actually good. I'll have to load that up for a second. I'd be happy to see that as well. So this is the remainder of the CPS chips hearing that has been guarded very closely to their chest, right, by Minnesota Public Records. They came back from their vacation. And they released the entirety of the entirety of the remaining document. It looks like it is about, what is this, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pages. So it won't take too long to get through. There is some like heart-wrenching stuff in this, though. This one's a bit of, like, for me, this one's a little bit of a tearjerker, I guess you could say. Now I'll just load this up like that. Yep, there we go. In the crime lab, otherwise known as MS Paint, we'll get all trusty out, red. I think I have sufficiently redacted any information that shouldn't be seen to the public. There we go. Looks good. So this is continuing where we left off in what part were we up to? Part 3. So this will be part 4 of the admit/deny hearing. And again, these documents are not perfect. So if I struggle to read the blurry writing, please give me a little bit of leeway. A little bit of leeway on that. Megel said, trying to send a link to a Kino AI song, which is relevant. Put it on Discord or something. But I can't promise that I'll play it in this stream. Who can say? Who can say? That's good advice I got privately. Oh no, I dropped water all over my table as well. I've got a drinking problem today. Alrighty. So let's see. This begins. Mr. Rekieta. Any other witnesses? Mrs. Weber. No other witnesses. Mr. Mueller? No witnesses. Mr. Greiner? No witnesses. All right. Then Mr. Pierce. Any comments then about continued out of home placement? Your Honor, the agency is requesting continued out of home placement. There are no conditions that could be ordered today that would allow the children to safely remove or to go home. They mean to go home, I believe. Safely to remain home. There has not been, and there are no services in place or that could be ordered to allow the children to safely return home today. It is not an option to order that the grandparents or current foster parents move into another home with the children at this point. Yes, seeing the house in question, the second house, disgusting SCP-infested house, marks of chaos written in the bathroom, the stinky... Oh, I shouldn't say it, but you can watch yesterday. You can watch, not yesterday, but 2 days ago stream about that. But yeah, I wouldn't put kids in that house either. Especially since April lives there and probably Ralph's there right now. Who can say? Because Ralph is still in Minnesota. He's there till on Saturday. And he's fixing to holler. He pretended to fight Aaron today, but then he chickened out. And when we get to the Ralph segment, we'll talk about that more. But then he said it was all a work. And I think he deleted those texts. And now he's trying to get Aaron to fight him again, which is just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Right. You heard that both from the agency and from the Guardian ad litem that it would not be in the children's best interests and there would be continued danger. We have here a home where there was significant amount of controlled substance located in one of the children. One of the children tested positive and had a high test result. There has been we have not been able to form a safety plan. We have not been able to have a period of sobriety, which is what is absolutely necessary before there can be a reduction in the visits or talking about moving home. And yes, someone in the chat mentioned, maybe it was Parallax even, said that Ralph just doxed Aaron's house on Telegram. Yes, he did. Ralph was very salty about Aaron, and it seems like Ralph and April might be colluding against him. But like I said, we might talk about that in the Ralph segment, the Ralpha segment. Although he did run from the toe today. Hold on, I've got a funny picture of him. Not that one, this one. He can't keep getting away with it. Another win for the toe. How many? This is like 3 wins for the toe in one day. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But he did run and hide from Aaron. All right, let's continue. So we are asking for continued placement of the children. That is, that care, custody, and control be transferred to the Kandiyohi County Health and Human Services. That it is in the children's best interests. That they would be immediately endangered if they were to be released to their parents. That's a brutal one. Immediately endangered if they were to be released to their parents. That supervised visitation continue as directed by the agency with input from the Guardian ad litem. And I believe at the last hearing, Judge Hansen ordered some 42.09 factors. I'm not sure what those are. Maybe someone can illuminate me on what that is. I'm not sure if those, but if we would ask that those continue to be in place, essentially that the parents would undergo chemical use assessment and follow the recommendations. I guess that's what it is. They would not use any controlled substances not prescribed or alcohol. and they would submit to random testing at the request of the agency or the guardian ad litem. And they would sign any releases for the agency and the guardian to monitor those conditions and any placement paperwork. All right, Mrs. Barber. Mrs. Barber, any comments you have? No, thank you, Your Honor. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Pierce. Do you have some more? I did. I would just ask for clarification that there would not be. They would agree not to revoke any of those necessary releases as well. All right. I apologize for interrupting. All right. That's all right, Mrs. Barber. I don't have any additional from my testimony. Just I always ask the court to make the safest plan for the children. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. It's nice that Mrs. Barber is looking out for the kids. It's good that someone is. All right, then, Mrs. Weber. Thank you, Your Honor. Well, there's been a lot of testimony, and there's a lot of concerns about safety in the home. But as of today, it's just a lot of speculation. No one's actually been able to point to any drug use by the parents. Oh, no. Oh, no, say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. Is it all? Man, Nick was telling the truth all along. Oh, my goodness. Now, actually, since this has happened recently, the detective, so there's a couple of documents I don't think I've actually mentioned on stream yet, but 2 of the officers were subpoenaed by Nick for the hearing, and one of the officers, or maybe it was Pomplum, submitted new evidence discovery, which is the BCA drug test results. So when Nick was saying that the government has a mysterious substance they don't know is a drug, which we obviously know is cocaine, they came back from the test results, and it's cocaine. Wow, big fucking shock. The government found cocaine in the house, and they proved it's cocaine. The results are in. So if Nick says that again on his stream, he's straight up lying that the government does not know what that is, because they know for sure now. It just took the test a while to take place, about 3 months, which is kind of ridiculous. But I guess the testing labs get backed up quite a lot. But they have confirmation that the white mysterious substance is cocaine. Now they don't actually have the other reports available, so we don't see this whole result. So we don't know the brown substances just yet. But the cops know what it is. That's the important part. Anyway. Continuing in the document, Mrs. Barber, I know Mrs. sweep it up, Janice, sweep it up, had also been able to look in those areas of the home, and Mr. Robert Rekieta has also, it's hard to read, I think this is has also testified that he has not seen any drug use by his son. Oh, that's a dad, sorry, Robert Rekieta's the dad, or even intoxication of his son. Now, this is just a bold-faced lie, this line right here. So Dada Rekieta came in and said that his kids are good boys. They never did anything. He's never seen Nick drunk even one time. This is just a complete lie, because Mr. Rob Rekieta has been in many of Nick's streams watching along, and he has also been... Nick has also said that the first time he mixed alcohol with whatever his narcolepsy drug was, he got really high and goofy, and his dad came up to him and said, "Why are you acting so goofy?" What is this? What does this say? You don't need to do that. That message is fine. You don't have to worry about those. Bob super chatted very frequently, so that's fine. He was aware of and seen his son parent. He's not seen any unsafe parenting, and he feels very comfortable with the children in the care of their parents. As far as Rule 42 assessments, or is that 4.2? I'm not sure exactly. I think it's Rule 42. Oh, he sent it 8 times. Yeah, spamming is against the chat rules, actually. So yes, that's the case, then yes. The basic rules are don't be a cunt, which is something that I can determine, but BP can probably determine it as well. And don't spam and no illegal stuff. That's the only real chat rules. As far as Rule 42 assessments that were ordered, I would be under the circumstances. I think that we need to take a very strict look at the assessments. There has been, or there was and I have not seen the order from the first hearing with Judge Hanson. And maybe I missed it, so I apologize. But the chemical use assessment, Mr. Rekieta has not. There is no proof that he has used. Well, there is now. There is proof of what he has, and it's cocaine. There is proof that he used in both the streams and the drug hair test he took himself. Now, if he doesn't want to share it, that's his right. but there is proof. Maybe it hasn't been submitted to the court, and that's the important part, really. But yes, there is proof. There is lots of proof. The father's lying. Yeah, I said in the last stream that if it was my son on the stand, I'd lie for my son too, because I think that family bonds are strong like that. And someone said, no, I would tell the government on my son. I wouldn't do that. And I think that, and maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can't judge that. I'm telling you that if I was in that case, I would probably say my son was a good boy. He didn't do nothing as well. Unless he did something really terrible, like murdering and eating the skin of someone, then I'd probably tell the government, yeah, okay, you know what, my son's a bit of a piece of shit. But if it's like this, then I'd probably believe in the best of my son. It's just how family works. Let me see. If they want an assessment for chemical use, I guess okay. But there isn't going to be anything he hasn't used. Oh, no. I guess that's okay. He hasn't used. He's a good boy. He didn't do nothing. I'm not saying I'm an enabler, Adriana. I would try and resolve this situation without the government. I'm just telling you the reality of what I would probably do. And maybe that makes me, you know, a little bit less strict than I should be, but I'm just telling you that's the reality. Let me see. As for the mental health assessment, oh no, don't let him take that. Mr. Rekieta, any reason why you couldn't do one of those diagnostic assessments at Woodlands or whatever? Mr. Rekieta says, I have no trouble doing any sort of assessment like that. Okay. As far as the drug testing, Mr. Rekieta, and actually Mrs. Rekieta as well, have already started doing some drug testing at Minnesota Monitoring, I believe. Yes. We would offer those, and I realize that they are just, I think, quick. I'm not sure what this is. Quick reports. So I guess like simple drug tests, basically, not necessarily conclusive. They haven't come back from the lab with the levels, but we would like to offer these if that's agreeable to do that, to show that our clients are doing some drug testing. So this is the test they submitted this morning of not this morning, but the morning of the test. And this is the one that tested positive for alcohol. So Nick was drinking the morning of or the night before, very late into the day, before his court case, which is kind of silly. I guess if you've got no kids, you've got nothing else to do, right? Except just finish off all those whiskeys. As far as releases of information, there are a problem. There's here is the problem. No, not there. Here's a problem. Again, this is a bit hard to read on my screen. It looks better on the small screen, actually, strangely. As far as the release of information, here's the problem, is that whatever Mrs. Pierce is not only the attorney that's assigned to the Chips case, she's assigned to the criminal case. She's not giving my guy any use immunity on this at all. Potentially, potentially what she finds here could be used in the criminal case, or a comment that he makes. Mr. Rekieta is an attorney, and he knows the rules. I press X to doubt on this one. This is a big X to doubt that Nick knows the rules. I really would be, really would doubt that. And he's being super careful, well, except for drinking on the day of his arraignment or whatever. Well, not arraignment, his Chips hearing. And he and his wife are being very careful about not saying anything that could possibly be used against them. Again, this rates as false or F, because Nick said he wouldn't talk about his case, and he went on to talk about his case. And yes, if you join as a member, apart from just supporting the stream, it does enable you have all the use of the emojis. Somebody said to me that the Discord link was broken, but I posted a new one. So if you join as a member on this stream or on a previous stream, you can go to my community tab. And if you're a member, if you're not a member, you can't see it. But if you're a member, you can see the invite to the Discord. And I posted a new one this morning. What the fuck is this? Excuma said for 50. What the hell? Is this some weird Norwegian? Chloraldent, ultra crepidarian, nociception, tistodracted debiophobia. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? How do you pronounce this? What is this? Looks like there's no search results for this. What the fuck are you talking about? He's speaking in tongues. Have I summoned some sort of devil or entity? What have I just said? I don't know. Yeah, that's what my brain is doing. The little thinking sound. I have no idea what I'm saying, but thank you for the support. Anyway, I mean, just the assessment that Mrs. Sweep heard about. Well, these are the consequences of our actions. Oh, yeah, this is what they heard in the hallway that Mrs. Rekieta said. Not Mrs. Kayla, Mrs. Rekieta said. And right away, that's gotten blown into out of proportion. We don't even know what the context of the statement was, or that it was even the entire statement. Yes. What could Kayla possibly be talking about when she said, these are the consequences of our action, while crying and hugging her son on the day that they were doing their child protection campaign? The point is, there is a lot of potential for misuse of information, and that's why Mr. Rekieta and his wife really need to keep a very close close handle on what information they get and how they go forward. It must be a Minnesotan expression. It seems kind of strange to me. And I know that it's just so incompatible. I think this is so. It's hard to see again. It is just so incompatible with child protection cases and the short timeline, as is some regards, I feel, really stuck trying to help my client get those kids back home as soon as we can, but without some type of guarantee that what is released and said in this case won't make it into the criminal case. I have to say that, we'll do the assessments. Mr. Rekieta can continue doing the testing and provide those results to the county to show the sobriety. Other than that, I think too it would be good to have some environmental education on cleaning the home, because that seems to be an issue. But other than that, I don't know that there's anything that I can safely require or ask my clients to do. All right, thank you. And did you want to submit those as an exhibit, the Minnesota monitoring? Yeah, we can do that through, what is this? I guess this is some sort of data sharing thing. I think it says MNDS, but I'm not sure. Whatever this is. Don't know. The court says, any objection to those, Mrs. Pierce, to the Minnesota monitoring test results? Maybe that's what it is. Do you have a copy of those? And I believe that she does. I did get a copy of those tests. I guess I would also offer the child. Oh, and I would also like to offer the child positive hair test. All right. Do we have copies of those? And I can, so that we can receive them. Or are they in, again, I think this is the MNDS, I think it is, which I think is the Minnesota data thing or something. Minnesota Data DocuService. I'd assume that's what it is, yeah. I assume that's what it is. No, that's not what it stands for. Cheeky little commenters. I can. We can have those marked, and then, may I approach? Yes, you may. So, this is Mr. and Mrs. Rekieta's. The parents' Minnesota monitoring were offered to the county and the guardian ad litem this morning. Drug testing of the baby or of the youngest child was offered to us yesterday. All right. So then I will receive those. Number one, I think 01 is Nick's test results, and I think 02 is the child's test results. Those will be from Minnesota monitoring testing. Number two will be I'll make that testing of the child. Yep. So number two is the child's positive cocaine test result. All right, then, Mr. Mueller, any comments that you have? Everything that Mr. Weber just said, ditto. I would also ask the court to consider lessening the restrictions on the visitation between the parents and the children. If I understand it correctly, they are supervised either at the agency or at the Harmony Visitation Center. I would believe that is utterly ridiculous. These parents would go over to their parents, either their in-laws or actual parents, as the case may be, and see the children in that setting supervised by those grandparents. As Mr. Greiner pointed out, you've got decades of supervising and knowing what proper parenting is. They should be allowed to act as a supervisor of the visitations between those parents and their children. That's all, Judge. Mr. Greiner, go ahead. Your Honor, I looked at my electronic case management system, and this hearing is titled an emergency. Emphasize emergency protective care hearing. And I think it's so fundamentally important to remember the issue of burden of proof that the county has, the burden of establishing the emergency. The parents don't have the burden or the parents don't have the burden of proving the safest option by having to submit the random, I think this is urine analysis, etc., for 60 days. So, as a starting point, it would seem obvious that the state demonstrated that the emergency existed on May 23rd in the form of cocaine being found in the parents' residence. That was then, this is now. There you go. Today, June 6th, there is no evidence of any emergency. And in fact, everything is suggesting, including a negative urine analysis from yesterday, including Mrs. Barber's walkthrough today, that there is not any ongoing drug use, that there's not any drugs present in that house, and that the clutter that was seen present, that was making it difficult to walk through has been rectified. So again, they mentioned that this house is so filthy, so cluttered, that it's difficult to even walk through the residence in the main house. That we need to see. What do we got here? Seeker Loathing with 10 Singaporean dollars says, if multiple people are accusing Rekieta of making accusations, like there being a conspiracy against him, etc., maybe the problem lies with how Rekieta phrases things. Survive Japan, back home. Good to hear that. Hope you had a great trip. I know it was very hot. It's an interesting time to come. And Job for 9 says, please update Discord link. Is it not working? Surely it's working now, right? Let me see. No, someone found their way into the Discord, so surely it's working now. But thank you for reminding me. Look at chat. All right, I'll look at chat for a second. What's being removed? Aesop's Fables? What is he saying? Reported for hateful, abusive content. Reported for hateful, abusive. All right. You get a 10-minute timeout. Don't spam in the chat. What's hateful about my content? I'm just reading the news. This is just a legal show. This is a small legal show from central Minnesota. What's the problem? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He said, yeah, don't worry about it. I timed them out. You can, if people keep spamming, you can time them out if you really want to. But just for 10 minutes, not forever. Maybe 30 minutes if they keep doing it. Everyone's allowed back eventually, provided they don't do anything illegal. He's too busy 3D monting. Yeah, spammers garbage. Don't do that. You can only say it. Just say things once, right? It doesn't make people read it more if you just waste everyone's time. It makes the chat unreadable. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat, but it's a bit difficult when I'm doing these reading ones. You should block Vito. He hasn't been in this chat, has he? Being Vito is a blockable offense, though. That comes under my rule 1 of being a cunt, because I don't want any pedos in this chat. So if you see him, go ahead. Let me see. Uncivil Law asks, so what do we have from the Omnibus? I'm assuming no video or transcript. There is court reporters in the form of the Kiwi Farm, the K-Fat Squad. That is the Kiwi Farm away team. And then you have the regular Fat Squad, which is Ethan Ralph. You can read both of their notes. We don't have an actual transcript of the court. The basic results of the Omnibus hearing is that the court is going to review Nick's motion that he submitted, April's testimony in the form of her body cam after she asked for a lawyer is excluded unless she testifies, and everything else is basically kicked down the road for like a week or so. I think the latest they have is September 5th or something. I think that's what it is. But basically, they just pushed it down the road, and nothing really happened except Ralph wasted a bunch of time and got pressed by some Kiwi farmers, and also the Steel Toe Morning Show crew. All right. I just respectfully disagree with the county's position that there is no conditions ordered today that could allow for the children to be returned home safely. Obviously, I think what it seems to the county was coming from is that we want to demonstrate for us to prove up the emergency. We don't have to prove the current emergency today. Rather, the parents have to prove that they have been abstinent for a minimum of 30 days, probably 60, for an emergency not to exist. Well, that's just not the standard. And I think it's implicit in what they're arguing. So, yes, there's conditions that could be ordered today. We have a very sophisticated, very credible grandparent who's testified today and says that he will, and his wife will, be present to make sure there's no trouble. And in effect, if there is, he will be the first to make sure the grandchildren are removed from that. He has given his credible assurance that the children will be safe if they go back to their parents' home today with the grandparents' oversight. I think that, Your Honor, sorry, can I interrupt for a second? I just noticed that there's 9 participants on the Zoom call, and there's supposed to be 0 people in the Zoom room other than, I'm just trying to see who it is. The law clerks, court administration, myself, the courtroom, and the judge. Okay. And Mrs. Is this Urscht? What? How do you say this name? Ucht. Mrs. Ucht is in there as well, I think. I don't know who that is. I guess she's just a admin or something. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that it was all people related to the case. And Mr. Pia as well. Yeah, all right. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Thank you for that, Mrs. Pierce. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Mr. Griner. Anything further? So, when the county's going so far as well, grandparents can't guarantee that the children will be safe when they're asleep because their parents, who otherwise love them day and night, might be able to access them, seems far afield of what we should be focusing on here today, of whether there's currently an emergency and whether the county's demonstrated that or not. Normally, at least my understanding, is there's no conflict for the county attorney to both prosecute a criminal case and be related, and pursue that related CHIPS case. My concern is, based on what Mr. Weber said, in the absence of use immunity, I'm concerned that if the county refuses to give parents the immunity, that potentially does create a conflict because, in effect, their choice to do that is preventing the parents from cooperating. Remember, at least my understanding, Mr. Rekieta is not a criminal lawyer. Wait a minute. Let me this should read. Let me edit this sentence. Mr. Rekieta is not a criminal lawyer. There we go. I fixed it, chat. Mr. Rekieta is not a criminal lawyer. No, of course they mean he's not a lawyer that specializes in criminal cases, like potentially Sean, potentially criminal would be. But I thought this was very funny. They should just put it like this. There you go. He's a criminal lawyer. That would be true. There we go. There we go. That's a bit of a fun one. His wife is not a lawyer, but she's smart enough to know not to talk to the cops, which Nick is not, which is funny. At least that is my understanding. If I am a defense criminal lawyer, was in this situation, I think it's safe to say that they are walking on eggshells. And so I think that the county needs to give them immunity here to continue. I also think, the best safety plan, grandpa is central to that, and grandma as a practical matter. That itself disproves any emergency, and that random urine analysis and chemical use assessments, if and assuming the parents are willing to do that, and any notion that somehow we will have an emergency ongoing is just not correct. I also think it's important to note that the children feel about what the children feel about this. They feel so strongly that they want to go home because they want to be with their parents. I think that it's safe. They believe they've learned their lesson. What the fuck is this? Wait a second. They think it's safe. The children think it's safe, and they believe they've learned their lesson. That's just sad. That's just heartbreaking. Like, we do have a bit of a giggle of this. Like, we have a bit of a chuckle at the in misfortune. But, like, the reality is that these kids don't understand that that's the case. The kids think they're being punished because of something they did rather than what the parents did. They've been making a lot of improvements cleaning the house. As I understand, grandparents went through with a fine-tooth comb. The grandparents cleaning their house. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely, they love their parents. That's sweet. That's sweet. They miss their parents. Significantly say, I think this is the daughter. I think that's the girl. So girl specifically saying that 80% of her stuff is in that home. Her frogs are there. She misses her frogs. That's so sweet. So the oldest son says the oldest misses his pets. In fact, I think all the kids do. Their cats, Lion, Button, and Ninja. And their pug, Sony. Hashtag save Sunny. Unbelievable. Save Sunny. We need to save Sunny, chat. But of course they miss their pets. Of course they miss their parents. Of course they miss their house. Kids always love their parents, no matter what they do. Let me see. But I think the most important thing of all, that these children have been born and raised with their parents, and they tremendously miss their parents. And it's extremely traumatic for them to be separated currently, with the prospect of them being returned maybe in 60 days. This is not the way they wanted to start their summer. Obviously, being removed was an extremely traumatic experience in of itself, and extending it even 1 minute longer is continuing the trauma that we just don't want to have. And this is the real kind of heartbreaking part of this this document here, this statement here. So this is the son. Just fill that in. So the eldest son, from his perspective as the eldest, is saying that specifically that he will be watching for any signs of trouble. That he is part of the safety plan. If they are seeing any sort of inappropriate behavior, are going to be working with the grandma, and other grandpa, and he will raise it with the issue of grandpa to head up making sure that those kids are safe. So literally the Ethan Van Sciver, why don't we just get the 16-year-old to clean the house? Why don't we just get the 16-year-old to clean up after the drug addicts? This made me so sad when I read this part. It reminded me I kind of got an image of Frodo, going, you know when everyone's arguing over who's going to take the ring to Mordor, and all of the dwarves and the wizards and the men, they're all like, I'll do it. And then Frodo steps up as the smallest, weakest creature there, and he's like, I'll do it. I'll take the ring to Mount Doom. This is what I feel when I see this. The son saying look, I'll take responsibility for my parents. This is a 16-year-old. This is a 16-year-old saying this. Unbelievable. I mean, props to the son. This is a good son. And I assume that Nick was a good father up until the last year or so when he started swinging. That he was able to raise children like this. But this is just heartbreaking, this whole paragraph. Nerd reference. I've got to rationalize it in my nerd mind by relating it to a movie. You don't understand. That's how I cope. But really, let me see. So all of those things, we don't think we need to demonstrate. We have the burden of proving the appropriateness here. That's in the best interest of the children to go home, but I think we have. And certainly from our perspective, the county has not demonstrated adequately the standard to continue to keep these children out of the home. Thank you. Let me see, what is this? All right. Cheeky boy. Actually, speaking of Lord of the Rings, towards the end of the month, there will be a break in the Rekieta content. I guess unless, he starts doing weird shit again, which probably he will, so we probably have to wait that long. But Rings of Power is coming back, Rings of Power Season 2. And what I decided to do was put all of the Rings of Power videos I made from the Season 1 together into a supercut. And one night, I'm gonna submit that as a premiere. And it's one big hour-long, basically, movie review. The night before Season 2 of Rings of Power start, that's going to come up on my channel. And then from then on, I'll be doing the Rings of Power review videos as soon as the episodes come out, hopefully. Although September might be really busy for me, so there might be a week or two where I'm got to go on vacation briefly. Not a real vacation, but a working vacation. Yeah. Oh Lord, damn rings. That's what's going to be it. The Rings of Power. But there will be some non-Baldo content coming up for the non-Baldo people in the chat. I know there are a couple of you. Alrighty. The court says, all right, thank you, everyone, for the arguments. The court is going to find that the court the court takes into consideration the overriding interest in the safety of the children, and the court considers that in its determination. The court is going to continue to find that there is a prima facie showing that there is a juvenile protectional matter and that children are subject of that. The court is going to find that there is an immediate continues to the immediate danger of the children's safety, health, and welfare of the children were released. If if the children were released to the care of the parents. So it's still dangerous to take the kids back to the parents, but we know this already because this happened on June 6th, and Nick got his kids back in August. And I base this on the facts that the testimony that the child did test positive for cocaine, that the parents have revoked the releases so that the agency is not able to monitor the release, revoked the release to Minnesota monitoring so that they can't even get the release. This is in regards to Nick's drug test with the hair follicle that tested positive, that he refuses to admit that exists. And for those reasons, I do find that the children are continued to be immediately endangered. Very sad, but we knew this happened already. And I will continue to find protective care with the agency as in the children's best interest and with the placement of the relatives. I find that the agency is making reasonable efforts to prevent out-of-home placement, but those efforts have been hampered, I think, have been hampered by the parents in this case, specifically if, no, speaking... Okay, something funny happened here, I noticed. Let me see. Have been hampered by the parents in this case, specifically if ... then something happens here that we don't know. So someone says something here, and the judge says, no, I'm speaking now. Okay, Mr. Rekieta? So Nick said something, and the judge told him to shut up, I'm talking. Oh, I wish you knew what he said. Court reporter, you rat. Why didn't you include what Nick said? Specifically if, no, I'm speaking now. Okay, Mr. Rekieta? So, by hampering those efforts, by revoking releases and not submitting to testing as requested and not having access to the home, I'll order then that under the 42.09 factors, I'll order that the parents complete a chemical use assessment and follow the recommendations that they abstain from any use of alcohol and controlled substances, submit to any testing, and sign releases to the agency and to the guardian ad litem to verify that, and then add just a reminder that at any time the parties can bring a motion to reconsider that if there has been cooperation or if there has been other sources that would allow for the safety. I believe that the grandparents are a good resource. I encourage the parents to look at all the possibilities, all possible creative options. But at this time, unless there is a verification of testing and verification, I do not find that it is safe for the children to return home. At this time, then, we'll move on to the admit-deny hearing. I do. Mr. Rekieta, Your Honor, may I make a brief statement to the court? Not at this time. Oh my goodness, the judge. Not at this time. We've been here for 2 hours, Mr. Rekieta. I want to move on. Oh, shut down. So he tried to interrupt the judge. The judge said, no, I'm talking. And then he tried to all right, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But may I make a statement? No, not at this time. Enjoy prison, child. Oh no, I need that $20. So please don't go to jail, Nick. Let me see. We've been here for 2 hours, Mr. Rekieta. I want to move on. I would ask for one clarification. The children are asking at the very least that they're able to have visitation in person with the direct supervision of the grandparents without the necessity of Harmony. That's the Harmony. It's like a children's center, basically. There's like a lot of toys and cameras and a safe place for kids to play with their druggy parents and things, or otherwise criminal parents, or an agent of the county. At this time, the court says, I am going to let supervision remain as in Judge Hanson's orders. I don't see that anything has changed truthfully since Judge Hanson's. In fact, there has been revoking of releases. Oh, that's Nick's there, revoking his release of his own hair follicle test. And so I'm going to leave it to the discretion of the guardian ad litem and agency. I do note for the McKenna's law, the children have signed the McKenna's law, but I will read that. They want a lawyer, says Mr. Greiner. The court says, I will read. Mr. Greiner says, if you want to do a formal advisory, that's fine, but they want a lawyer. So McKenna's law, as I understand it in Minnesota, means that anyone above the age of 10 is entitled to a lawyer. So 3 of the Rekieta's children is over 10. So they're the 3 that are in court on this day, and they have their own lawyer, basically. It's kind of weird. Apparently, you kind of have to sue your own children to get them back in Minnesota. Essentially, it's kind of strange, but that's the way it works. Let me see. He has to do his formal advisory. Oh, all right. They met. I am going to read that now. So I just have, this is child 1, 2, and 3. So there'll be the eldest son, the eldest sons, and I think the eldest daughter. But I've obviously removed their names. You have the right to attorney, and one has been appointed for you. And a lawyer is someone who works for you and tells the court what you want the court to know. You don't have to pay for those lawyers. That's good because they don't have to pay with their pocket money. That'd be pretty rough. Anything you say to them or write in private to your attorney, it stays private. It means just between you and the attorney. It doesn't mean your parents or the guardian ad litem or the county. If you are not sure about whether you want an attorney, you can talk with the lawyer to find out. My understanding is that you want an attorney. You also have the right to go to court. There will be meetings in court where the judge and lawyers and social workers and guardian ad litem and others will talk about what is happening in your case and what is happening with you and your family. You can go to the court and tell the court what you want to have happen. If you don't want to go to court, you can tell your judge to know what you want to happen by writing a letter to the court or by telling your social worker or guardian ad litem or your attorney so that the judge knows that. Do you understand those rights? I think I've done this page, but let me just check. It sounds like this is where the kids' names might show up again. Yeah, this page is fine. There we go. They audibly respond, but I guess it's not in the transcript. And then my understanding is that you want an attorney. Is that right? Oh no, it says no audible response. All right, then let's move on to the admit deny hearing. Mr. and Mrs. Rekieta, I can see from the file that you received a copy of the petition. That was served on you. Is that right? And you understand you've had a chance to review it? Yes. Disloyal kids, I made you. That one actually really works. That one actually does quite well. Let me see, where was I? And you understand that you've had a chance to review it? Yes. Okay. And I think that the last hearing, they went over your rights and verified that information on the petition as to the children was correct, except for, I think, one date of birth and one name of the child. Is that all correct? Yes, the names and dates of the children are all. We noticed an exception of birth of the children are all. We noted the exception of the last hearing that one of the dates is incorrect for one of the children. That has been corrected, Your Honor. Okay. I think it was a spelling of daughter, and I've removed that one. But yeah, it's one of those when you spell a name with a Y sort of thing. It's one of those situations, which is not a great. I wouldn't recommend using Y's over vowels when you use children's names. It's just annoying for everyone. Yes, there should be a. They missed an A. All right. Then, as to the admit/deny, Mrs. Weber, how does your client want to proceed with the admit/deny? Mrs. Weber, did you want? Oh, I'm sorry. We are entering a denial. All right. Same here, Your Honor. All right. Then we'll enter a denial. We'll set this matter for a pretrial and trial. And I have those dates somewhere. Okay. So the IDH, I guess that's the hearing, is August, what is that, 13th? Yeah, that makes sense. That's when Nick got his kids back, right? August 13th? Oh, no, was it? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was August 13th. What was that? August or wait? I'm sorry. That's fine. Okay, so July 10 at either 10:30 or 11:15, and then the court trial July 23rd through 26th. So we'll have the trial would be July 23rd through the 26th. I heard July 10. Was that thrown out also? Yeah. Pre-trial. July 10 is the pre-trial. At what time? Either 10:30 or 11:15. Is that the in front of Your Honor or Judge Hanson? It's going to be back to Judge Hanson. Okay, I'm available. And I am not available the 8th through the 12th, says Mrs. Pierce. The 18th through the 12th. And I am the attorney that will be trying the case. Okay, do we have a different date or is there something on here? Do we have a different date? They asked Miss Ashley, whoever that is, I guess a court admin. The 10th is not going to work. Mrs. Pierce and other counsel, do you want to have some sort of informal family meeting? I would suggest mediation, she says. Let's see. We are trying family mediation, formal mediation. Okay, yeah. For settlement purposes, formal mediation for settlement in person, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Okay, I'll order that. I'll order formal mediation. Okay. Do you have a date yet? While we're waiting for the dates, then I'll find that it's in the best interest of the children that they remain in protective care of the responsible social service agency, which is the grandparents, I believe, that reasonable efforts have been made and that it is contrary to the welfare of the children and that is the least restrictive. And they're looking for another date, They're just like some admin stuff, nothing too important. We're getting to the end of this document. Let me see. I'll just skim through this part since we don't need to see all this stuff. I do believe so, Your Honor. Oh, I guess it'd be requesting a protective order discovery. No objection, no objection, no objection. Do you normally submit those? I can submit a proposed order. All right, I'll grant that. Okay. And they keep arguing about the time. Goes on for a little bit, doesn't it? It's so hard. It's so hard to make plans with friends, you know. Everybody's got something, like as you get older, everyone's got something on. Everybody's got their own little things going on. It's very hard to find a date that works for everybody. Very relatable court cases, aren't they? Ready? Let me see. Skim through all of this. And they find a date and they adjourn the court. And that is the conclusion of the Chips trial. Now, fortunately, that's the last document in the Chips trial. So does Minnesota Public Records have any more documents? We don't know at this time. We don't know. This could be the last matter of public interest. We don't know. There could be new documents coming out very soon. It was very strange that the way they started releasing the documents in smaller and smaller pieces. But now we have the entire Chips trial. That's good. That's good. All right. And now I guess we move on to the Ralph segment. You want the transcript for the Chips case or the today's hearing? Today's hearing's transcript will be out soon. All righty. Now, what is this? Has somebody been sending me? Let me see. Okay. That's that. What's this? All right. All right. We'll show that, shall we? All right. How should we order this? All right. We'll do it like this. Do that. This one. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh, no, I'll leave this up, actually. Leave that one up. We'll take a quick intermission, I guess. Quick intermission. As I go get another glass of water, so we can continue talking about that. So while we're back in just a second, I'll give you something to listen to, shall we? We'll continue our tax-free break.
Don't make me say it. Squeeze. Child support. Faith. It's tax-free. Compass Sneed. Cause it's tax-free. That's right, bitch. Now kiss my Gucci hat. I said kiss it. It's authentic, bitch. It's time to gut out. Shake your gut like you mean it. Wiggle, wiggle. Welcome to the kill street. This song. Wiggle, wiggle. What you mean I'm drunk? I'm sober, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe one more. So take out your pill bottles and shake your pills, and wiggle, 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 wiggle. It's a 10, so it's tax-free.
We'll let it end. We'll let it end.
Wiggle.
It's such a good song. Go over to Lipstick Larry and go give that video a like or subscribe to him. He's got some more content coming out soon. All right, there we go. There we go. What does this expression even mean? What is this emotion meant to convey? It is an expression of pain. Yes, very, very good memes today coming out from, what is this? Oh, shit, I forgot the name of this game. I have it on Steam. What is it? Shit. I literally forgot the name of this game. It's a game where you play as a drunk detective, but it's very fun. It's a very, very fun one. All right, we'll go into today's Ralpher experience. We'll start here, so I can kind of There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. All right. So, a few days ago, Disco Elysium, thank you very much. Disco Elysium. So, a few days ago, maybe about 5 days ago or so, Ralph down in his tin shed in Merida, Mexico, was sent a super chat for $500 Doritos. And that allowed him to go attend the hearing, today's Omnibus hearing, in person in Minnesota. But he had a little adventure, and we talked about this more in the last stream. But he had to get from Merida to Tijuana to go back to the whorehouse to see if he could find his passport that he left there. We don't know if he found the passport, but he spent a few days in the terminal. He had his little adventure, getting drunker and increasingly more high off coffee, according to him. But he did somehow get across the border. Perhaps he got coyotes to smuggle him across. But he arrived in America, and then he was able to fly to Minnesota. And as he was attending the court, both him and the group of the Kiwi farmers, the evil Kiwi farmers, arrived in Minnesota. Josh Moon put out a message to the Kiwi farmers. Don't be gross. Wash, shave, be presentable. And Ralph found this hilarious. I love how Null has to beg the Kiwi farmers to take a bath and look normal. Impossible to get into the Rekieta Omnibus hearing tomorrow. Kind of pathetic, isn't it? Now, this is what... Wait, where is it? This is what Ralph was dressed as. He was dressed in his baseball T-shirt, covered in dandruff, smelling of grog, according to the kill stream. Oh, no, sorry, according to the toe fan that went up and said hi to him, that he disavowed his own name. This is what the Kiwi farmers look like. Just normal people that look like they have jobs. It's actually really funny because it's almost like a diversity poster. You've got men, you've got a woman, you've got a black guy in there. What a diverse and eclectic mix of Kiwi farmers. But I noticed that they all look very professional. They've all got nice shoes. This guy even here has got like blue Sonichu shoes as well. Look at that. But we don't actually know these are Kiwi farmers for sure. But they did wave and blow kisses to Ralph, so I think that's a pretty good indication of that. But Ralph was seething at these unkempt individuals. He was very mad at them. He says, the Kiwi Freak Squad and their token. This one dude was 324 pounds and had a beard like he was from Lord of the Rings, but gayer. So he's judging, I guess, this guy, who looks much thinner than Ralph. And he seems like he's pretty well kept. Actually, if I zoom in and enhance on this guy's beard, this looks like a pretty well trimmed, manicured beard. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, he's just making up like things to argue about in his head. It's just literally normal people. It's so funny. This is the disgusting Kiwi farmers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Yeah, not that one. Let me see. So Ralph was saying that he was like harassing these people. But it seems like everyone was really nice. And you've got this guy smiling. Look at that. Nice. He's got his smile, his notepad and everything. But then it reminded me of, here we have the actual picture of Ralph recording the entire event. So you've got the 3D version of this photo. That's a better one. We'll keep it like that. But it reminded me of this meme, and someone else, it reminded a lot of people of this meme. Where you've got the, hey, aren't you Ralph? I don't even know who Ralph is. You should box that dude. No, I'm not Ralph. Peace. The later. I love how Null has to beg the farmers to look and act normal. Impossible to get into the hearing. Disgusting. Seething online. Making up like these stories. Like he said that he pressed him. I don't need to talk about Aaron yet. I will at some point. And there's a lot of fat shadows in these things. But anyway, I guess we'll take a look at the illustrious kill stream. There's two videos. A video in two parts. One is only 38 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing because there's so much annoying music in it. But Ralph was shook. He was scared. And let's take a look at this. This is how Ralph showed up, by the way. So here we have, this is what...
Do some trickery. Sure, the chat box will come up.
Let's see.
I only have the one phone,
How do I make this a
so
little bit...
I might have to do some trickeration to actually check to see if this live stream is actually going.
It's a nice
right
little
now.
baseball shirt. Much appreciated.
But I'm outside the...
Yeah, I'll be watching out for the music.
How do you say this fucking...
See, other people say Candy-O-He as well. It's Candy-O-High. Like Rekieta is high. That's how you remember it.
Kindio.
We'll just skip around a little bit.
Kindioi. How do you say this place?
So Ralph shows up. Ralph shows up at about, I think he shows up at like 8:30 or something. And he goes in at 9:30. He goes in an hour early, basically as soon as he gets pressed by the guy. But I want to note a few parts of this that are interesting. He walks backwards and forwards the street for about 30 minutes. He talks about looking for Kiwi farmers. He lights up a ciggy. People play music.
I really can't see any of them yet.
But there's some interesting
of
stuff.
Of course, they'll
here.
make
Hold
me
on
take these sunglasses, cigarettes,
talking about his
lock them up in a locker once I go in. But
where is it? Where it's
I already went inside and talked, and I was like, "Hey, is it cool if I film out here?" And he said, "Yeah, you know, as long as you're not."
Let me see. He's gonna stick around while I look for something.
I don't think they're gonna do that. As long as I follow.
All right, here we go.
I'm good. If I go on the property and start, you know, like point my camera inside, obviously that would be a problem.
Yeah, cameras are banned inside the courtroom, obviously.
I won't do that.
Looks like a nice place to live, though. Like a very quaint little town. Very, very cozy. I could see that. Like raising a family in this sort of place.
But he nice said as long as I'm filming outside like this, there's no. I mean, this is public sidewalk. There's nothing they can do about it. So now
I'm noticing that this isn't what Ralph said he was going to do. He said he was going to be up in the face of the Kiwi farmers, doxing them, recording their license plates. It seems like he's just having a bit of a stroll in the park.
When there and start like trying to film deputies and shit. Yeah, okay. Or if I point my camera through there, yeah, okay. But as long as I'm out here, I'm perfectly fine.
Is Ralph actually 35? I thought he was 40. All right, here's the first point I want to look at. Wait, enhance that shadow. Oh, no, wait, there's a better shadow coming up. There we go. You know what this shadow reminded me of? Another ancient meme, but a good one. It reminded me of this one. Have you guys ever seen this? Have you ever seen this photo? Basically, what this is there was a post on Reddit, and it was like a picture of this couple, and there was a guy seething, saying, "I saw this couple, and they disgusted me. There was a cute girl with like some guy that probably treats her like crap. I hate these people walking around displaying their public." It was just this really unhinged post. But then people zoomed out on the photo, and there was this shadow. And that's all you need to know about this story. And that's what I was getting when I saw Ralph's stream this morning. Ralph was promising a lot, and I was glued to the screen. I was watching it as he was going past. He only encountered 2 people during this stream. And he's talking about being stalked by Kiwi farmers he doesn't know. We're going to see if we can get a look at Ralph, actually. Yeah. This is his fit. This is his fit check. What do you think, chat?
I look pretty good, in my opinion. So, I don't know. You can be your own judge on that.
I guess you can be your own judge. Was that me? No, it wasn't me. Come on now. Come on now. The stream went up and down a lot of times as well. Where's the skateboarding guy? There's like a guy on a skateboard he tries to talk to. Oh, yeah, the music starts playing around this part. It's really annoying watching any of these streams. Fortunately, we get to cut it down, right? I think it's around here.
Yeah,
I'll just mute this for a bit while we watch it. In my opinion, yeah. Actually, 250 kgs. Well, the thing is, he's only 5'1", so he's pretty short. I think it's around this point. There's more rap music playing. Where's the skateboard kid? Does he do a truffle shuffle at this point? I think he does that, doesn't he? Does a little dance. Yeah, he does his little dance. Again, it's got copyright music, so I'm not going to play it. So you'll have to use him. Wait, you know what? We can play. I could find some music to put over this. I was just going to put cheaper music on over it, but maybe tax-free would work again. But we already played that. Let me see. Where is this guy? Where's the skateboard guy? I think it's around here. All he does is walk up this one street over and over, so it's very hard to find the actual changes in the thing. This 40-minute stream. That's when the second guy shows up. Well, let's see. Where is it? God damn, where is it? The skateboard go. Basically, some guy comes up with a skateboard, and he's like, this has got to be a Kiwi farmer. He's got his phone out. So anyone using a phone is a Kiwi farmer. But then, of course, at the last 5 minutes of the stream, you have this guy show up. And we have the better version because they have the James Bond music playing at this time.
Is there a song with this?
Yeah, there we go. I just want to show you the one point that's kind of funny with the song before we go to the unedited, the edited version. Because as soon as this guy turns around, the song like kicks in. It's kind of perfect.
I don't know who that is, but thank you.
Steel Toe show?
No, I don't know who that is.
This was happening live, so this music is playing for everyone, including Ralph. So as soon as that guy walks around, the beat kicks in. It's perfect. But we'll play the edited version for us, shall we? Where is it? Is it this one? No, this one. Here it is. All right. This is the full interaction without the James Bond music. It's been edited out with AI.
Yeah. There's the song of this.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, aren't you Ralph, dude?
I'm not Ralph.
I was just watching Steel Toe, man, on the way dropping my son off. You should go box that dude, man.
My name's not Ethan Ralph now.
Oh, it's not?
Again, I know we played this at the beginning of the stream, but it's so good. The 500 IQ play. Are you Ralph? No, I'm not Ethan Ralph.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's another win for the toe,
I thought
boys.
you were
Oh, it's another win for the toe.
Is that right?
He said you smell like booze.
I don't smell like booze, though.
I don't smell like booze though.
Smokes, though.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, you should go boxing, dude.
You should go box Aaron. He should
Aaron?
go box
Yeah,
Aaron.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but thank
Oh,
you.
Steel Toe show?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, thank you, man.
Oh man. Scared. I thought Ralph didn't fold the bullshit. He folded in the first instance. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then
located.
5 minutes after this, he ends the stream and goes inside. He's so afraid. He's so afraid. But then he comes out from the courtroom. So we'll go see what he does after the courtroom. Although he did post this on Twitter. Hold on a second. He posted his notes on Twitter. But there is this one Ralph post that we have as well. This is from the Kiwi Farmers notes. So I wanted you to... We're doing a bit of a handwriting check. Ralph is taking notes. Already has half a sheet full. Can't make anything out. Massive bald spot on the top of his head. Skin very red. And then we can have a look at Ralph's court notes. He posted this today to his Twitter. Let's see if we can actually... I can't actually read this shit. This is like the insane ramblings of like a manifesto of some murderer or something. Rekieta, gray suit, purple tie. Dapper. Oh my goodness, he's dapper bros. What do you got else? Let's see. This is really hard to read. I'm walking the hallway the entire time. Shameless Kiwis want something in the eye. Rekieta and his wife sneak up on me with a warm embrace. Oh. Kayla is demure. Oh yeah, that's the funny thing, because when after this they went back to, so this is actually a picture of Nick, I guess the Officer Boogie, and then you have Kayla and April. Looks like they wore tights to court, so that's a bit of a weird choice, I would say. Don't need this anymore. Where is my picture of? Oh shit! Did I get rid of it? Oh god, I think I did. Very, very sad. Don't need that one anymore. Don't need that anymore. It is very strange that Ralph would pose for a picture with Kayla, because he's literally called her a slag, a slatternly woman, and also made fun of the children. I wouldn't let Ralph near my family if he had said those things. Some other notes that Ralph made. Cog edited the video, added elements, not reliable. His belief that, so this is Nick's belief that had she known, CPS would not have issued the warrant. Prosecutor can't respond to the defense attacks. Adjourned until August 30th. Defense, something, s'mores. I guess he's thinking about food at this point. Inaudible. Audible chuckle as he says Steel Toe Morning Show. LOL. Will not give us... She says she will not give us body cam. This is not true. This is only April's segments of it. There we go. But Ralph came out after this. Now, instead of pressing the Kiwis, like he said he was going to do, he went straight to his truck. He went to his truck, hid, and then he had something to say afterwards. Let's take a look at that. Do this at 1.25 speed. If I can find a way to do it. There we go. Rumble. There we go.
Footage of the Kiwi farmers leaving. All right, are we live? I can't
This is
tell.
live from Ralph's truck. Well, it wasn't live. It's recording.
I got some ace footage of the Kiwi farmers leaving. It was hilarious. There was maximum 8 of them total. I was actually walking up and down the hallway waiting for it to start. I turned my back, and there was Nick Rekieta. Gave him a big handshake.
Why is his skin so blotchy? It looks like he actually has something. Like, I don't know.
Big hug, Mrs. Rekieta, who I sat next to in court in the front row, actually. Gave him another hug and handshake on the way out. From my reading of what happened, and I hope I didn't drop the other note.
Oh, wait, go back. Rewind the footage.
And I hope I didn't drop the other note.
I can't see a bald spot. Maybe that was made up by the Kiwis. Who can say?
I think I just wrote on one
Syphilis?
page. Okay, it's
Possibly.
back in front. I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Scabies?
Am I on Rumble right now? We'll wait and see. I can't tell what I'm live on. You have to
Cancer,
comment
AIDS,
on Rumble.
shingles.
So I didn't
Maybe.
have it set up for very long.
Maybe.
But I should be live on Rumble and YouTube, I think. Let me see. Power chat's on. That's on. Okay, now there's chat. Chat wasn't on at first. Okay, now say something in chat. And tell me if it works. I mean, I'll be able to see it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have my hand in front of the fucking camera.
This is on Rumble, not on YouTube.
But I can't actually tell. Okay, there we go. So it's working. And I have some notes here. They were taking notes too, but I'm sure they're subpar. So they didn't have a hearing on whether the trial should be televised. I guess that'll happen at another point. I'm not sure.
Well, the judge said that it was premature to ask for recording the courtroom because it's not a trial; it's just the omnibus hearing. So they'll resubmit the Kiwi Farms affidavits will be resubmitted when there's a trial date submitted.
Definite Kiwi farmer
or a trial date named.
Pounds, long ass beard, completely unkempt. There was another tranny.
Completely unkempt. So he's talking about this guy who actually looks pretty well groomed. Like he's got like actual thing there. Look at that. Looks nice and neat. No problem there. They're saying actual tranny. It just looks like a normal woman. I mean, I don't know. I have to get closer, right? But it looks like a normal person.
There, who was wearing a tweed jacket, who was taking notes like they were Hunter S. Thompson, which I thought was pretty funny. Anybody with a notepad there was there on behalf of Kiwi Farms. There's no other reason. Maybe one local reporter, you could say, but it was a strange bunch. So I don't think any local reporters were there.
This is the man that says this is a strange bunch. Just think about that.
One black guy who definitely acknowledged himself as a Kiwi farmer, because I said, "Tell Josh what's up." When he was leaving, he said, "Tell Nick Fuentes what was up," which I thought was strange. But he identified himself as a Kiwi farmer with that. He played it cool up until that very point when I yelled at him when he left. Couple more.
He yelled at him? This is just a made-up story. Like this is like made up like Nick's story that he presses the female judges in the elevators and things. Weird bunch even. Yes, we have the weird bunch. This is the group of weirdos. A nice little wave. Oh my goodness.
Or maybe like, I don't know, 6 or 7 possible. There were 19 people in the gallery with me and the deputies in the gallery part. And then Rekieta's people came in. Mrs. Rekieta sat right next to me, actually, in the front row. And so I guess there was maybe like, I was told that it would hold 30 people, but I don't really think so. I don't think that motherfucker.
There's a Kiwi farm in the background. He's got an ice cream. Look at him. That guy's obviously a Kiwi farmer. Look at him carrying a big gulp. It's got to be a Kiwi farmer. They're everywhere.
I don't think that motherfucker will hold 30 people, but yeah, I was seated in the front row right next to Miss Rekieta. She was very nice, and it was good to see her. One normal looking guy of the whole Kiwi bunch. Blue long sleeve, khakis, nice shoes. I'm still thinking he was a plant, but he looked the least like a plant.
So wait, he's talking about which guy is he talking about? This guy? Blue jeans guy? Or surely this guy, right? This is the plant. They hired Kiwi to make them look good. Just a normal dude. All photos from behind, by the way, like as they're walking away, like getting those creep shots. Looks like he wasn't brave enough to take any pictures of like going up to them. Very disappointing. I was expecting confrontations. I was expecting rage. I was expecting a battle in the courtroom, but very disappointing performance, actually.
I guess you could say. Walking the hall. I was walking the hall the whole time, intimidating these Kiwi farms.
He was intimidating the Kiwi farmers. Just like he intimidated the steel toe guy, right? By saying, I'm not Ethan Ralph. So yeah, sounds like he was really pressing them.
Freaks. So I was walking past him the whole time, and then when I walked down to the inn and turned around, Nick Rekieta was standing behind me, along with his wife, and I shook hands, gave him a hug, gave his wife a hug.
And they went back and I think they went back to their house. I closed the picture, but someone has this edited one anyway. The green line test. Let's check this out. Oh, wait, this is the very true episode. This is unedited. Let's have a look what we got here. Head tilted away, leaning away from Ralph. Limp hand, weak man. Micro cock facing. Who's like? Oh my gosh! Can you send me the unedited vision of this, because I want to compare the Ralph size, because Ralph is like, there's some funny stuff here with the feet and the placement of that. If you have that, I closed my image of it. I know someone else has a copy of it though.
And so it was about 45 minutes before the thing started, and then another 15 once we got into the courtroom. And so the training seemed really concerned with taking notes on me. So we'll probably see a huge effort post from them on Kiwi Farms pretty fast. I'd have to say, ugly fat bitch in horizontal black stripes with teal sleeves, fiercely taking notes. This is still when we're outside the court, by the way. Fat guy with pen in his mouth, shaking as he puts his pad in his pocket. I noticed that his hands were shaking as he put his pad in his pocket.
Shaken.
Rekieta gray suit.
All right, I found it. Here we go. Got it. All right. So this is they went back to their house. They went back to their house and changed. And let's see if we can find anything interesting in this photo, shall we? Do a little bit of forensic evidence. Oh yeah, it's pinned on Ralph's Twitter actually, so it should be very easy to find, and it is. But other people have posted. Oh, what's this? What's this? Interesting. Okay. I have to say it. I'm going to say it. April's an upgrade. April is an absolute upgrade. Looks like that Kayla has been relegated to being the pig's new, I guess, partner in the throuple. They've replaced Aaron, and now Ralph is their new best friend. It's kind of funny the way like Ralph's arm is like really reaching around. It almost looks like it's like a stretch arm or something, like he's edited something weird. But look at this. So Ralph is, I think Nick's like 6'3", but Ralph is standing really funny. Like if you look down here, Ralph is halfway across the pavement, and Nick's heels are on the stony path. So it's like a trick photography with, you got like a fish and you hold it close to the screen or something. So how tall is Ralph? That's the real question. And look at that. What we got here. A nice tight grip around the waist on April's side. On Kayla's side, where's the hand? Oh no. I think Kayla's been downgraded to secondary, and now April is the #1 wife. I have to ask the cursed question, chat. Have to ask the cursed question. You know what's coming. And I'm gonna have to put a vote. Actually, we can't do a vote on this. But the cursed question: F, marry, delete, and I guess there's 4 of them. So subscribe. So you have to F one of these people. You have to marry one of these people. You have to delete one of these people. And you have to subscribe to one of these people. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, chat? This is a hard one. Woo. Delete them all. That's not an option. You can't delete yourself either. You have to answer it. In Minecraft, of course. This is all academic in Minecraft, yes. April has nice legs. Well, hers aren't covered in tattoos like Kayla's, I assume. Although this tattoo is like, oh my god, what's going on here? They've got the three wolf moon tattoo. So people have suggested that this represents Nick as the alpha wolf, and you've got the Kayla and April here, and they're all howling at the moon because they're a wild bunch. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Let's see what the chat is saying. I'm not into tattoos. I don't like tattoos. I think that's an instant downgrade. But I know that April's got less tattoos than Kayla, but she's just covered in them. Like that's the problem with Kayla, is that like you've got like the you're doing like a puzzle book on her back or something. As soon as she takes her shirt off, trying to figure out the mysteries of Aztec riddles and things. Let me see what we got here. Anyone actually answering this? Kayla was a meek girl who was easy for Nick to manipulate with his egomania and narcissism. He's just broken. You don't allow this when you have 5 young kings in the house. I don't think that's necessarily true. Because Kayla was like a cheerleader. I think that when Nick got married to her, I think he thought that he was marrying up in a big way, and he was really nerdy at the time. Nick says he's only interested in Kayla's body type, but April doesn't look like Kayla's body type. That's interesting. Oh, that is true. That is true. Trying to scroll up to where I can see. All right. If this is my only choice, I delete myself and Ralph. That's not, you have to play by the rules, chat. Come on now. You guys are cheating. Marry April, delete Ralph, F Kayla, sub to Nick. I think this is the only reasonable answer, honestly. Like, this is a terrible situation, but I think you're correct there. That's the only reasonable conclusion somebody can come to. I think that'll probably be my answer as well, actually, if I had to do it. I mean, I'd probably prefer to delete myself, but if I had to. Nick's legs, bed bugs? What are you talking about? Oh, what's that? What is going on with his legs? Bite. What's here? This is like a staph infection or something, right? I was trying to avoid the feet pics. That is a lot of bed bugs. What's going on in their house? What's going on? Thought those were moles. Zoom and enhance. No, it's like these are like they're not tract marks. Come on now. They're like scratch sores. So like a bug bites you and you start scratching it over and over because you're like tweaking or something. Yeah, there's a big one here, and look at all of these. No, these are sores. These are sores. And Nick's the only one that has them. I guess you can't really see Kayla. Myth sores. No, I think they're actually scratch sores, but who can say? All right, we'll go back to see what Ralph was saying about the Kiwi farmers.
Purple tie, looking dapper. Mrs. Rekieta had a nice, demure blouse on, long sleeve.
That's such a weird comment for Nick to make. Oh, sorry, for Ralph to make that Mrs. Rekieta had a demure black top. He's literally described her as a slatternly whore before, and then said even worse things about Nick's children. But then Nick would allow him to come back to his house or wherever this was. It had to be their house or their secondary house because they got changed. So it must have been close to their home. I would assume that Ralph was probably staying with what's her name, April, in the second house or something. Or maybe they just gave him the second house. What a weird thing to say.
I don't know what you call that, camisole or something on top of it. A little lace at the end, but nothing, too racy, anything like that. I thought she was very demure in what she was wearing. And of course, she ended up sitting next to me. This was me taking notes beforehand.
Is that what he said? He said the children were mongoloids? Let's
see, I'm looking. So, Rekieta and I believe Nick's mom or her mom, one, were sitting right next to me in the front row. I think she said it was Nick's mom, actually, but that would have to be, he can go over that. But that's what I heard earlier on.
Oh, he said brood of
artards. Right next to me, and the whole rest of the gallery were filled with Kiwi Farms freaks. So it was me.
The Kiwi Farm freaks, says disgusting unkempt man covered in dandruff wearing a baseball jersey to a court hearing.
Mrs. Rekieta, Nick's mom is who she said, is what I heard. Maybe it's her mom, one of them's moms. Were sitting right next to me. So it was the mom, Mrs. Rekieta, me, front three in the front row. So let's go through the actual trial. Let's see. Motion to suppress filed on Sunday. Motion to suppress the search warrant was filed on Sunday by Nick Rekieta's lawyer. He said both legs Detective Pomplin has based his motion on were faulty. Warrant based on hearsay from a reporting official that CPS initially rejected this report. CPS, the report from the church, the pastor. CPS had originally said there was nothing there, and they dismissed that report. Well, one of the legs of his warrant is based on a report that was dismissed by CPS beforehand. So that was one of his challenges there.
I like next. Ralph's chat. Better call Barnes. Need the People's Court theme. Dun dun. It is a good song.
2, based on Aaron Emholt as a concerned citizen. And the lawyer pointed out that Aaron Emholt's not a concerned citizen. He has a long-time grudge against Nick Rekieta, and so you can't classify him as just a concerned citizen. He has a long-time grudge against Rekieta. And this is how he presented it to the judge in his filings. Concerned citizen, Aaron Emholt.
He cited a CPS report that had already been.
I don't think this is true though. Like Nick is portraying this as the case, but the concerned citizen wasn't Aaron, as I understand it. It was the pastor who was a court mandated reporter, and the preschool teacher who I believe was also through the church that was saying that children were smelly and unkempt, and also multiple church members reporting to the pastor himself that Nick was leaving the church multiple times to go take hits of things because it was too boring.
Debunked by CPS themselves. And the video that he based his warrant on was based on COG's channel, which was heavily edited.
COG's life ruined it for everyone again. Oi, Rekieta, you're using my video on your channel with me watermark and I get this thrown out. COG responsible for ruining everything again. No, this is not going to hold water. I mean, of course, there's always a potential for things to go wrong or for things not to go the way you expect. But the idea that because it was on COG's channel that they can't just check to see if the COG's version was edited in a way that it significantly alters the content of the original is a very simple thing to check. Nick said that he removed everything from his YouTube channels, but he forgot that he left the Odyssey one up. So that one's still available. He lost the password for it or something, and it just automatically archives everything he uploads. But it would be funny if COG was responsible for everything going wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. Somebody messaged me or left a comment on my channel saying like what I said about COG was all lies, and I said no, it's all true, because we watched a video where COG makes a curry. All right, we gotta do a slight segue, guys. We got to do a slight COG segue because I have to know the truth. I have to know the truth. If I can find this video, someone posted it in the where did they post it? Was it in the live stream chat or something? Yeah, here it is. All right. So what I said about COG and what they decided to tell me was wrong is that COG uploaded this video called, and this is on COG's channel. It's still on COG's channel. It's called COG's World, his channel. Go subscribe to COG if you so wish. Oi, COG. Living in my little trailer. Oh, he was streaming about this a few hours ago as well. Look at that. He's got a much nicer, well, I mean, he's got effort in his background. But anyway, COG uploaded this video called Mrs. COG's Lamb Curry, COG Life. And I would suggest to you, and this is totally true, I'm not joking at all, that COG used an AI Indian woman's voice for this video and then dressed up as an Indian woman because it's clearly man hands in this video. And if you look at the reflection, Detective Andy Worski was on this case on this one. You can see it's COG in the reflection making this. So I think the evidence is very clear that COG did dress up as a woman and pretended to make this curry. But let's take a quick look at it to see. So look, first we'll listen to the voice. He was COG dressing.
Hello everyone.
So this is the voice.
To make this delicious lamb curry, first start by getting 2 pounds or 1 kilogram of lamb chops on the bone. We get them on the bone for extra flavorings. Get 5 red onions, 1.5 bulbs of garlic, some fresh ginger.
Who is COG? The person who's making this video right now. So they have the Indian voice. They have the Indian AI voice. Next piece of evidence. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. What do you think, guys?
Consistency.
Are these man hands
put
or not?
Put all of the garlic, ginger and green chilies.
Did COG put on nail polish?
Vegetable grater and crank the handle until it...
Because these don't look like Indian hands to me. These look like a British man's hands.
Blue. They are ready.
See if I can find a better picture of the hands. Here we go.
Green chili paste and mix it in well. Add in the can of chopped tomatoes and mix in. Next we have 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric.
All right, show me the hands. Where are the hands? I need to see the hands. I need a clear frame of the hands. Actually, there's some more curry-related stories in this episode. Okay, here we go. Here's some hand shots.
Sauces to your preferred consistency, minutes or until this.
No, it's so quick. You got to be quick. I don't know. I think that's a dude's hands. This doesn't look like an Indian woman's hands. This looks like a hand that has not touched a day's work in their life. That would fit COG. Indian women work like slaves because India is not a great society. An Indian woman's hand is covered in calluses, especially if she's been recently imported from India. But COG's hands are smooth and dainty as a man on the government's dollar or the government's pound is. But that's the second piece of evidence. The third piece and the most conclusive piece of evidence. The reflection data. Look at this. We're going to look at the reflection. There's one frame here where we can see. I think it's here. We're going to have to watch this in slow motion, chat. We'll go down to 0.25 speed. Or 0.5 speed, maybe. The reflection. That's Cog's hat. That's his Peaky Blinders hat. I think there's another reflection. Also, they serve it on these weird, like, prison trays. I don't know. That's kind of weird. We're going to look in the reflection. I'm not seeing a woman with long Indian hair or something, though. I know. I think the reflection proves it, guys. This is a case closed. Case closed. This is absolutely Cog dressed up. He's Cog dressing. Look, I don't know. The person in the chat that was very angry about me saying that Cog dressed up as an Indian woman, be your own judge. I'm not going to tell you it is that, but I think it's pretty conclusive evidence. If I could just find that one, there's like one really good frame of this where it's Cog in the reflection. Look, this is a dude's hands. Look at this frame. Look at this frame, chat. Look at this frame. You saying this is an Indian woman's hand? No, Cog put on rings. He put on rings and nail polish. Look at those hands. This proves it. I mean, hairy knuckles. Oh, that actually could be an Indian woman then. That actually maybe is a point in Cog's favor. Oh wait, I think around here. I saw a preview frame. Let's go by frame. Up here. Not enough hair. No. Where was that? It's like right here or something. But this is Cog. Come on now. Look, I'll show you what's happening here. We've got to open up the crime lab. We've got to open up the crime lab for this one, guys. All right. First enhance. And then we have to use some digital manipulation, or actually some digital enhancement, I guess. Look, this is his hat. He's got his little Peaky Blinders hat here, like that. Then he's got his, and you see he's got a beard right here. It's Cog. It's Cog, isn't it? Look, I think this is confirmed. There's no way this isn't Cog. Anyway, sorry, that's a little distract. But it's all this dude's fault. It's all this dude's fault. It looks like a beard. Oh no, I can't tell. What do you think? We have to put a poll in the chat. We have to ask the chat. This is a binding poll. Was it Cog's dressing? Was it Cog dressing? Yes, no. All right. Results / liked. There we go. Was it Cog? Well, I will believe whatever the chat says because chat is always right. So vote yes if you think Cog is dressed up as an Indian woman, and vote no if it's actually his wife making the curry. Jealous of Cog's curry wife? You know, speaking of curry, this is a really weird thing. Like this is another thing we have to ask like the chat about, because if I go to, hold on a second. Probably shouldn't show that just in case. Oh, by the way, Legal Vices got like a strike or something from like some bullshit on YouTube, and like he can't stream for like a few days. So send your love and power and prayers, thoughts and prayers to Legal Vices, because he was unfairly suspended from YouTube for 7 days or something for a community post, and he doesn't even do community posts. But let's take a look in from the Baldo crew. What else arguments do they have? Maddox from Dick Masterson today. Maddox lost. Nick is a winner. So he posts a picture of Nick with Ralph, and then he posts this picture by Maddox, and it says there should be a Baskin and Robbins for gravy. You get a scoop of mashed potato product, russet, Yukon, sweet, purple yam, white sweet, etc. Then you have a bunch of different gravies to try: turkey, beef, broth, chicken, Thai fish, curry, etc. Toppings: bacon, cranberries, almonds. So Maddox suggested this idea. Am I wrong? If this sounds delicious, am I crazy here? This sounds like a really good idea. Like, who doesn't love gravy and mashed potatoes? But apparently Maddox is they're so like mind broken over Maddox that like everyone starts posting Man should be launched. So Nick says, man should be launched into space for saying Thai fish or curry should go on mashed potatoes. This is insane. Like, curry and mashed potatoes are delicious together. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is just a good idea. Now, maybe it wouldn't be a big moneymaker, but this would be delicious. Have these guys just never had curry before? Because you typically eat curry with like a lot of rice or another type of white carb, like chips or like mashed potatoes. That's perfectly fine. Like, what is wrong with this idea of eating curry with potato? I think Nick is just completely divorced from reality, because he said the other day that like children don't eat rice, as if like 2 billion Chinese children don't eat rice every day. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are we pro curry and potato? I am 100% behind this. Yeah, we determined that Nick is a racist. He hates rice eaters. Curry is wrong always. What are you talking about? Curry is delicious. We should have sent this to Nick. Crawling POA says, I'm Jamaican. Curry with potatoes is the best. Absolutely. Absolutely. If we told Nick that a Jamaican man likes curry with potatoes, he would instantly change his opinion and go for it. Also, Stop Moss B with $5 says, Ralph's Trunda is busted. He lusted after Queen Kefals and married Pantsu, an FTM. Well, Pantsu is a real woman, but she's also a real horse. But thank you for the $5. Much appreciated. Go easy on the Indian women criticism. I actually really like Indian women. I've had a lot of great interactions with Indian women, but I make fun of everybody. And that's what's so funny, because it was that guy who was really mad at me because I made fun of the white person dog face. And now this is the appropriate time to bring it up, because even though Aaron's taking a lot of W's today, it's a big win for the toe today. So Aaron appeared in court, and you can judge who do you think looks better, Nick or Aaron. But look at this frame. You know what face that is, guys? You know what face that is? It's time for, where is it? Where's that good boy? Where's that good boy? Where's that good boy? Where did I save that picture? Do I not have this a local copy of this? Oh, man. Let me see. White. Here it is. It's making his appearance again. It's the white person dog face. White people get so angry when I say that they look like this face. But look at that. The resemblance. It's uncanny. Yeah, it's also the meme regret face if you join as a channel. But it's funny because that guy was so mad. And he said, like, I'm never coming back to your channel again because you only make fun of white people. You're a self-hating white person. But I don't. I make fun of everybody on my show. That's what's fun about humor. But I don't know. Like, it's only I've made fun of every group of people on this channel, but I've only ever received criticism from white people. Come on, guys. White people used to be cool. We used to be able to take a joke, and now we're so sensitive. What is going on? Have a bit of a giggle at yourself. Have a bit of a giggle. There's nothing wrong with it. All right. So 61% of the chat says that Cog was Cog stressing. So there we go. When am I going to address the fact that me and Aaron have the same hairline? Never. That's not true. Oh, man. I got a picture of me from 10 years ago that I think you guys would find very funny, but I don't think you guys deserve it. Maybe I'll show it one day. It's funny because I look like 5 to 10 years older in that photo, but it's like 10 years younger. I'm not trashing dogs. I love this dog. Look at me. He's so adorable. I made the face too. That's the face that white people make when something, some fuckery is about. And you can't say anything about it because you know if you say something about it, you'll get in trouble. So you just have to grin and bear it. All righty. Let's continue with what Ralph was saying.
Had Cog's logo on it. It wasn't the original source, but he portrayed to the judge that he had watched Nick Rekieta's original stream, which he had not. So there are 3 bad apples in his application for a search warrant, 3 separate ones. So one is the faulty CPS report that was already thrown out. 2 is that he based Aaron Imholt as a concerned citizen when he's a blood enemy, right? And they can't
add the white person dog face as an emoji. That's a really good idea. I'll see about that after the stream.
Even show which day Imholt showed this stream, by the way. They couldn't even cite it in court. The prosecutor was totally befuddled.
That's a really good idea.
3, he represented to the judge that he watched Nick Rekieta's original stream, which he did not, and he admitted later on. So
Not sure
The
that's
lawyer
true.
for Rekieta speculated that perhaps the judge wouldn't have signed in 4 minutes. By the way, the judge signed the warrant. Perhaps the judge would, the judge has an expectation that the law enforcement are going to tell them the truth. Perhaps this judge wouldn't have signed this warrant in 4 fucking minutes if she had that information. So that's the basis of the challenge to the search warrant. COG added elements. Rekieta's lawyer said he believes the warrant wouldn't have been signed had the judge known all this.
Curry is flavored gravy. Not sure if that's true, but both are delicious in their own ways. I think Americans don't have enough curry in their life, though, right? Because whenever I meet Americans and they go to a curry restaurant, they're like, "This is amazing. How come I've never had this before?" But curry is like everywhere in the Commonwealth. So I've been having curry since I was a wee boy, but I'm still on level 1 of curry, butter chicken level. My friends have graduated to like a tikka masala or a Rogan Josh or something, but I just always get the white person classic butter chicken. It's so delicious though. It's so good. Oh, I could go for one right now. But thank you for the 2. Much appreciated. That's going to go towards my next pizza day. I have to show you the slop that I get to eat over here because pizza day is coming up. Actually, I had pizza today, so I've already had pizza today. But I thought this was funny. These are the new pizzas on offer for me. I've got the cheeseburger pizza and the teriyaki burger pizza. Which one do you choose, chat? The teriyaki pizza burger has been reduced by 60%. Actually, both of these pizzas have been reduced by 60%. Look at that. Only in Japan. The cheeseburger pizza. I'm not sure what makes this a cheeseburger, but there it goes. Cold pizza for breakfast. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna have Mexican tomorrow, though. I think all this Ralph talk is making me really hungry for some quesadillas and some margaritas. And what was the other thing he had for breakfast? I can't remember what that was called, but it sounded nice.
April's statement on body cam. They said they will not use body cam footage unless April testifies, is what was said. And so they wouldn't use body cam footage whatsoever, but unless she testifies, it's looking like the body cam footage might be, DOA, but we'll see if some of it gets out. But I have no inside knowledge, by the way. I wouldn't expect her to testify in the first place. Prosecutor, I audibly chuckle as he says, "Steel toe, morning toe," and then I caught myself because he said "steel toe, morning toe," and I started laughing because I thought that was amusing. Prosecutor says she can't.
But it was a big win today for the steel toe morning toe. He can't keep getting away with it.
Can't authenticate steel toe radio evidence. Shows there was animosity between the two parties, not a concerned citizen. She can't even authenticate what day, what program, what was said. Prosecutor won't respond in court to what Rekieta's lawyer said and asked until August 30th for a written response. And then Rekieta's lawyer asked for a rebuttal, basically.
Actually, they do have lasagna pizza in Japan. I went to a pizza shop in Kagoshima and they had lasagna pizza, and it was like deep dish lasagna pizza. It was really good. It was such a sloppy mess, but it was so delicious. Have you ever gone to Bangkok IKEA? I've never been to IKEA and I've never been to Bangkok, so neither of those. You get one spoonful of mashed potatoes with the meatballs, and you need to pay extra to get another spoonful. What the fuck? My friend BP said he went to IKEA in Osaka, but I've never been there. And he said that all of the food was like vegan now. So I never got to experience the real IKEA, or any IKEA really.
For 5 more days, and the judge says, well, typically, this is your motion right here, but since I'm giving her till July 30th to write a written response, when really she should have to respond right here, I'll give you 5 extra days to give another written response. And I believe September 6th is the deadline. September 5th or 6th is the deadline for further motions. But that's all that happened today, actually. And so that was my on-the-spot reporting. Prosecution seems kind of lost. The warrant, whether they throw it out or not, is looking dodgy as fuck.
So Ralph is saying that the kiwi farms were unkempt, disgusting. The prosecution was lost, in tatters. The kiwi farmers, who we have photos of, look like they're pretty in good order. And they say that Nick looked like he was lost and disheveled. I guess you'll have to, who do you want to support? Do you think it's going to be the accurate reporting of Ethan Ralph on the scene Killstream reporter, or the words of the kiwi farmers? I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Kiwis on this one because they look pretty dapper. I have to admit, they do look pretty dapper. Oh, shit, I lost the picture of them. There we are. I don't know. I think I'm going to trust these people. I think I'm going to trust these people over Ethan.
And so that was my on-the-scene coverage, and you guys can take it or leave it. But
I think I'll leave it.
separate legs of the warrant is based on
I think that's most of it. The content from Ralph.
like the powers they.
But what happened after this, you ask? Well, it seems Ralph has deleted some of the tweets, but so this happened approximately, this would have been about 11 a.m. And at this time, Aaron was still streaming. And then the Kino Casino started streaming, and then Aaron went on to their show. And previously, before Ralph was in America, when he was back in Merida, he was saying, I would love to box that Aaron guy. And Aaron is an amateur boxer or a coach or something. So he has at least a bit of experience coaching. And apparently Rekieta even said to him once that, you know, I don't care what you say, even if you can beat the shit out of me. So even Rekieta admits that he would be beaten up by Aaron. But Ralph decided that he was going to first box Aaron. Then Aaron accepted straight away. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll give you some pointers. Like a friendly boxing, you know, nothing wrong with that. Then Ralph was like, whoa, Kimosabi, I'm going to need $3,000 to box you. I got to make some money for this. And Aaron was like, okay, I'll give you $3,000. If it's $1,000 for every 60 seconds, you can stand up in the ring. So if he gets knocked down once and at like 59 seconds, he doesn't get any money. If he gets knocked down at like 101, then he gets 1,000 and so forth, right? But Ralph would be absolutely gassed by 3 minutes, surely, if he can even last that long. But then Ralph just like, no, okay, it was just a joke, But after the trial, he said it again. He's like, you know what? I want to box that that Aaron guy. And Aaron's like, you know what? I'll accept. And Aaron actually went. Aaron went to the gym. He went to his gym. Like, he got his gear on. And he was like, you know what? I'm ready and waiting for Ralph. And they waited in the gym. They sent Ralph the link. But no Ralph showed up. No Ralph showed up. There was no Ralph. You can actually hear crickets. It's almost like he's scared. It's almost like he's scared. He's scared. I thought Ralph didn't fold to bullshit, but he didn't show up. And we were waiting. Me and Sean were waiting for a long time. And there was no Ralph showing up at the gym, even for a friendly little sparring match. But Aaron showed up. So you know what? Aaron's stocks are moving up in the world. Even if Ralph had shown up and got the shit kicked out of him, I would have respected Ralph for at least showing up. But don't say you're going to show up and then just ghost him. And they waited until a little bit past midnight, maybe 1 a.m. And then Ralph started tweeting again saying, like, it was all the work. I was just trolling you. You fell for the biggest scam in the book. Then Ralph had some more time and people have been making fun of him all day. So Ralph says that fighting is back on the menu, boys. I mean, I don't know why you would bother wasting time with him again. It's obviously just going to be another like setup or some shit. But as of 5 hours ago, we go to Ralph. I'm going to be out front. That shithole gym Aaron probably lost his wife to. Bright and early tomorrow. If we hit 3K, it's on. Otherwise, not worth the Ralph and Mail's time. If you don't, then, and then Ralph had to cope about why he didn't say his full name as well. If you don't say your name, if you don't say what your name is, when some random asks you about it, you clearly haven't been as much shit as I have. Prove it, motherfucker. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to there. Let me see. Ralph copes a bit more. Steel Toe responds saying, Piggy coping. Wrapped and strapped. Oh, wait, there's actually more to this. We got to go back. We got to go back to the thing. Ralph, so Aaron has improved his boxing record 2-2. And then Ralph says, so dumb. No contract. No, now we need a referee. No contract. No ref. Aaron was making I guess it's an upside down. I guess no excuses. No excuses until the end about how he couldn't do it. Let's do it today. That was another offer. And then Aaron responds. Piggy coping, wrapped and strapped, ready to go, and he's running to Mexico. It's a sparring session. There doesn't need to be a contract or a ref. Just admit you knew you were going to get your worthless ass kicked, and let's call it a day. We all saw it. Go back to denying your name. And then Ralph says, I don't leave to Sunday, snitch. There does need to be a ref, though. What the fuck kind of operation you guys running down there? I'm down for it this morning. So Ralph is again pretending. Ralph is again pretending he's going to show up. And then he responds to himself saying, I mean, if you want to bitch out, when my closest Uber ride was $260 with no guarantee of nothing, that's on you. I'm ready today around noon. Despite the fact that we can see him clearly driving by himself in this rented car or borrowed car. Again, complete cope. Complete cope. Was this where it was? No. Oh, shit. Must be... Where the fuck is this going? There it is. And that is the last picture we have, I think, of Aaron. Oh, no, he said... Actually, he said... he retweeted his own thing again, saying, this picture was worth the whole trip. The Fantastic Four? So many lies told about each one of us. Could fill an encyclopedia. But look at that. Ralph has graduated to being Nick's best friend and now current wife of April. Oh, no, sorry, not April, because April's the number one wife. The current wife of Kayla. And then let me see. Steel responds 3 hours ago. So this is almost breaking news. It happened just before the stream started. You had your chance and you lied about showing up, lied about the address, and no, inspiring, you can just go to work. Obviously, you've never done this before. I was willing to teach you to defend yourself and not have to hide from strangers and deny your name. You fucked up, Ralph. Ralph responds, how did I fuck up, idiot? We fight for money. I didn't steal your wife or put you on hush mouth like your ex-wife did. This is for fun and money. And because I think more people hate you than me, even. It's very close regardless. And then he said, Aaron, you're making a big mistake. A certain someone said they might have something to say your name about you in the near future to yours truly. Who knows if it happens, but it'll be unclear, or it'll be nuclear if it does. So I'm doing my best Ralph exit, guys. I haven't had as much practice as PPP. He's much better. So it seems like Ralph is hanging out with April, and she's got some shit to talk about Aaron. Who can say? Who can say? I thought my accent was pretty good. This accent is an insult to Southern people. Good. Good. Let me see if there's any other stuff about Ralph talking here. So Ralph says, even though I never said I was going last night, and Aaron said today past 10 a.m. was fine, he's backing out. I can't believe the amount of cope. This is holy shit. Ralph, just admit you don't want to fight. Just admit. There you go. I got one Southerner. One Southerner on my side. Aaron is on Twitter saying he doesn't know if and when they'll even allow us to fight. LMAO. Mickey Mouse Operation. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. And there we go. There we go. We've reached the end of Ralph's tweets. So will Ralph fight before Sunday or Saturday when he leaves back to Merida? We don't know. That's where this story, I think, is about to end. It was a fun little day today. Not quite the fireworks we were expecting, but there should be more in the near or not too distant future. And with that, we'll spend a little time with the chat first. And let's see here. But I think what you can do is you can go on Twitter and ask Ralph why he isn't fighting. That would be good. We need to know. Also, Akai Suki with a 20 North Korean. Oh, we got another person from Norway. Holy shit! And he says, "Total null W. Rekieta divorce arc when kick." This is probably, I know who this person is. This is obviously a Kiwi farmer, and I know which Kiwi farmer it is. I know exactly who you are, Akai Suki. You think you can trick me by having Norwegian money? I know exactly who you are. I want to dox you right now. Not really. This is you, isn't it? With anime profile picture, this is you, isn't it? This is you right now. I know this is you. I know this is you, Suki. This is you with the red book. Bit sus, isn't it? Suki, like the moon, like a red moon, red book. Josh Moon, Null, Kiwi Farms. It's all coming together. I think I got your number. Norwegian person. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. But thank you for the 20 coronas or whatever they are. Much appreciated. Max, I see Max in the chat, or I did for a second. How you doing, Max? I heard that your voice was, or sorry, you had the coof or something. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Let me go through these tabs and check that we haven't missed anything. I can't believe how anticlimactic the fight was with Ralph. We all thought it was going to happen. It seemed like something was actually going to happen, but nothing ever happens. That's the way it is. That's the way life works. It's very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Oh yeah, I got this clip I was going to show at the beginning of the stream, but I forgot to play it. So we're going to take a look at it now. It's because Ralph took a lot of L's today, but there is one Ralph W. This is from the vault. Ethan Ralph predicts Rekieta's future. Kino Casino doesn't believe him. This is from 3 years ago. Let's see what people were saying 3 years ago about Ralph, Rekieta, and the Kino Casino.
It's called Racket's Fall.
I'm perfectly happy where I'm at. Rekieta's fall is going to be so delicious. Listen to what I'm saying. I've been here for a while.
This is the words of Ethan Ralph, best friend of Nick Rekieta. Took him out to dinner or took him out to lunch, hugged his wife, took his photo with him. This is what Ralph is saying about Rekieta.
And I've seen him come and I've seen him go. We're going to witness a staggering collapse for Nick Rekieta.
How?
I'd be willing to bet just about any amount of money that that's not going to happen.
The casino doesn't always win, apparently. Oh, no. I mean, to be fair, at this time, nobody would have thought that Nick was going to fail the way that he did. But this is just so funny that Ralph was the only one that could predict the fall.
I could believe that he might have a slow decline into irrelevancy.
Or like a bad month or 2 months or whatever, yeah.
I just don't believe there's going to be a catastrophic scandal about Nick Rekieta that comes out that's going to totally destroy his shit. Like,
even if there was a bad one, he would still retain a big audience. Like, let's be
Andy's totally right here. Like, once you reach a certain amount of size, some people will just never abandon you because they've invested too much in you already. And what happens is not even just money, but just the time. It's almost like the lost bus fallacy, but it's kind of like an emotional investment, which makes it even harder to break off. It is the essence of the parasocial relationship. Because a lot of people, and I'll even use myself as an example of this, a reason why I liked Nick's show back in the day was it felt like it was like hanging out with a buddy. Like you listen to somebody, having a bit of a giggle, having a bit of a laugh, having a few drinks, and they would say stuff, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That's a kind of an interesting take." And it is kind of like a replacement for like maybe you're driving a long, lonely drive or something, like a truck driver, or you just late at night listening to a podcast or something, and it's kind of comforting. That's why people like this sort of stuff. It's like it's nice to hear another person say things you either agree with or ideas that maybe you hadn't considered but are interesting to you. But people get so invested in this. But the question is, if this person goes against the morals, that the first things that made you like them originally, do you stick with them? Or do you say to yourself, hey, wait a minute, this is insane? And if you can't criticize the person that you love so much, are you really a fan? Or are you a fanatic? Are you just like actually in the bunker, in the cult?
I still don't even know, like, what could he really do?
He'd have to kill his children. Kill all of his kids.
I mean, even if he like screwed over some people in a fundraiser or like,
this is funny. It's like Warski's like, what he's gonna have to do? Kill his whole family? And then like PPP's like, no, that's ridiculous. He wouldn't do anything to the kids. Surely it would just be like a crypto fund or something like that.
And like a super mega grift. Like the people don't even give a man.
He's a smart dude. He would have.
But here's the thing, like if Ralph
and he says he's a smart dude, he would apologize. Wrong.
Still has an audience and people
Welcome to member
paying
status,
him.
Adeline. Much appreciated.
Like,
that's a cute little.
How far would Rekieta have to go to
Minecraft.
fucking like destroy his?
Yeah, no, exactly. It would have to be like catastrophic. It would have to be like insane what he does.
And it's gonna be. Listen,
Yep,
I've been
that
here
was
for a
pretty brutal,
while.
Pretty brutal.
I'm a tabloid god. I'm telling you now.
It's a tabloid god. I'm sorry, Ralph.
Is he? Well, I guess he is. Like, he's a tabloid.
First of all, like the words tabloid and god, like they probably shouldn't even be in the same sentence.
Oh, really?
Like if you're a tabloid journalist or whatever, like you're not a god. Oh, in any sense, even if you're the top of the tabloid, like you're still a piece of shit. Like
That's true.
I don't know what to say.
He's on the tabloids all the time.
It's going to be an unbelievably nasty fall for Nicholas Rekieta. I promise you. I promise you. And it is going.
I mean, it's true. He is a millionaire. But what do you guys like? Do you like the bearded Ralph? Bearded, unkempt, or like clean-shaven Ralph? Clean-shaven Ralph is really weird. It's like Baron Harkonnen with glasses and New York Yankees a hat. There's something about fat, like hairless men that's really creepy. It's like viscerally disgusting. You know what I mean?
He makes so much money. He could have like 2 bad years. And
well, his whole channel could fucking go down tomorrow. He's still a millionaire and he's still a lawyer with a law degree. He could practice law. Even if he loses the
No, he can't practice law anymore. It's over.
whole channel, he can still practice law. I mean, he never actually has because he's a shyster. But that's look at me. Look at me. I am the Ralph Mail now, Andy.
This is fun. This is fun to see the early Kino Casino, like back when there were just like 2 guys in bedrooms. It's actually like I've often said that it usually doesn't matter what your background is because the background is more for the YouTuber or the streamer than the audience. But looking at this background compared to what they have now, they put a lot of work into their show. So it's really popping off. So good for them, right?
Every drop is going to be delicious, and it is going to be, you can't get enough when this falls. And just as sure as I'm sitting here, that's going to happen.
Say yes to cocaine.
Oh no. Oh no. Nick when he was healthy. The comparison is brutal. Look at these two. Holy shit. It's amazing how much a little bit of fat makes you look a lot younger. How far apart are these videos? What is this, like 2 years apart or something? Oh my goodness. Not disbarred yet. It's pretty hard to get disbarred, really. Like unless you actually like take advantage of your client, it's very difficult to get disbarred. Unless apparently if you're an Australian lawyer or something. Apparently it's very easy if that's the case. It was 6 months. There's no way that's 6 months apart. There's no way that's 6 months apart. There's no way. I really want to dig up that photo of me from 10 years ago, which is really funny, because that was when I was cutting my own hair. I was like, well, it costs like 3,000 yen to get your hair cut. You're doing that once a month. That's like, what is that? 12. Wait, no. What is that? 16,000 yen a year. I could be saving money. So I just got like a razor and I just shave my own head. Not really shave, but like, you know, like a 1 centimeter or something like that. It looked really bad. It looked really bad. You want to see the photo? No, I don't think so. It makes me look so much older. And then I was kind of starting my like edgy photography journey. So I was putting up the contrast on all my photos and it looks so bad. It looks so bad. You guys would laugh and laugh if you saw that photo. I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find it and dig it up for another stream. Maybe. If you're good. I don't know if the chat deserves it. It is very embarrassing to me, though. But I'll see if I can do it. Maybe if we hit the goal. No, because I'd have to dig through my old photos. I'll see if I can quickly find it. I'm not going to look for it for a long time, but it is a very funny photo. I also got pictures of me from when I was 17, which are pretty bad as well. Find the picture. No, I don't want to. Oh, I found it. I found it. It's not good, bros. It's not good, bros. Should I show you? We're going. We hit. Oh, not go. Cut your own hair so you have more money for pizza. All right, found it. I don't know. I don't know if I should show you this. This photo is from October 2015. So it's 9 years old. It's 9 years old. It's a bad photo. It's a bad photo. Stop being a tease. Don't do it. I listened to the chat. They said don't do it. They said don't do it. All right, I think I'll show you. Maybe look like a young Jersey Clarkson. I don't think so. I don't think so. Hold on a second. Oh, look, it's in cinematic mode. Look at that. Holy shit. This channel got just way more cinematic. Look at that. Oh, how's it going? All right. I have to listen to my legal counsel. He says show it. All right. Here's a picture from me from 10 years ago. Here you go. This is what I looked like 10 years ago when I was cutting my own hair and using contrast, high contrast on all my photos to try and make it really edgy when I found a big spider in Japan. This is literally like, what am I now? Like 37? This is me when I was 26. When I was 26. The comparison. It's so bad. You look the same. Yeah, I know. I think I look the same. I look old. No, it's like, I don't know, like the hair's all spiky. Like, it's rough out there for me, bros. Oh my goodness, it's rough. Benjamin Button. Yeah, Benjamin Button. I think it's a cool photo. There's actually some interesting lore behind this spider. This is a Jorogumo, which means a horse spider, and it's a golden orb weaver spider. And there's a Japanese legend about these, that they're all like evil women, and the older they get, the more powerful and the stronger they get. And if one of these grows to like 100 years old, it like they're so large and so dangerous, because these spiders never stop growing until they die. They come out in August. They're massive spiders. They're like this size or something. There's a lot of stories about them inhabiting like abandoned houses, and they disguise themselves as beautiful women. That's why they're called horse spiders. And they reel young men into their homes and wrap them up. And there was a very famous story about one of these where it lived behind a waterfall, and there was a young man, and he heard the siren call of this beautiful horse spider. And he was going towards the waterfall, but then he noticed his leg was attached to something, and it was a thread of spider silk or something, and it was slowly dragging him closer and closer to the waterfall. But then he literally saw like a log. He saw a log, and he replaced his body with the log, literally like the Naruto replacement jutsu. And the spider pulled in the log instead. And then as he was escaping from the waterfall, he heard the words "clever" being whispered on the winds as he got away. But this is like the photo that like gets recommended to me every year on Facebook. Oh man, I love these letterboxing. It's so cinematic. We're in anamorphic now. It's pretty cool. When we have like cinematic things, we can just turn those off. It really adds a lot. I don't know. Clever girl. Yes, indeed. You look like you're from a Terry Gilliam film. What's that? Terry Gilliam? Who's that? Terry Gilliam. Who is that? Maybe I'm too uncultured to know. He made Brazil, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Time Bandits, 12 Monkeys. Oh, he's actually got some pretty good movies. Life of Brian. I don't know the aesthetic though of that, but thank you. And the next game with the 50, Corona says, we need to see some other pictures. This is already in the archive. I don't know if there's any other really like cringy pictures of me. I mean, I do have a lot of cringy pictures of me, but this one is my favorite though. This one is my favorite. When I was it's actually the emoji. It's actually from the emoji in chat. This one. The deepest lore behind this photo is I was before I got any good cameras, I had a GoPro, and the GoPro, I would set it to burst photo mode, so it would take 30 photos in 1 second, and then I would throw the camera up in the sky, so it was like the poor man's drone. And as I was throwing this one day, I was hiking, and as I was hiking, I did my move where I took the burst photo mode and threw the camera up into the air, and I almost dropped it off the side of a mountain. So this is what. As the camera was rotating, it snapped a picture of me just as I was about to lose my camera. And that's this photo. Where it's the return of the white person dog face. So this is where that photo comes from. As I rushed to try and grab my photo, just before I rushed to grab my camera, just as the thing's about to go over the edge. This is a good one. I like this one. This is on Mount Ibuki in Shiga. After I'd been hiking. One day. That was pretty good. I really like this photo. I think this is a good one. Yeah, it's pretty chill, right? That's a good photo. It's a good photo. Throw a camera in the air. Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. I'll see if there's any other good ones. See if there's any other good ones. I've got some very silly pictures of me. I can't show that picture. Because BP used to cut his own hair too. And I have a picture of him with very short hair and very... He's got mutton chops, he does. He's got mutton chops. He looks like a right British gentleman. So there you go. I can't show you that picture though. I can't show a lot of these pictures. I can show you my Halloween costume if you want. My Halloween costume from 2013. If you want to see that, show us the... I can't show you BP's photos. That'd be rude. This is the Halloween costume I made though, which I was very proud of. I made it all myself. Look at that. Look at that. Feels like I'm wearing nothing. Oh no, I got rid of myself. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. No, it was a good costume. I'm so mad about this because like we used to do these Halloween costumes or Halloween contests in Japan, and every year I was trying to win. I was trying to win a contest thing, and I got second place in the sexiest contest to my neighbor. She just dressed up as like a cop or some shit. And she won sexiest costume, and I got second place on the sexiest costume. And BP won the costume contest that year with his Iron Man helmet that he made, like a real working Iron Man thing. It was very distressing for me. I had to wait to the very next year to get a win on the Halloween costume, where I dressed up as a plague doctor, which was actually pretty good. Oh yeah, I've probably told this story to Andrew before because I've coped about it. It actually still lives rent free in my brain. I can show you the costume that I won with though. This is a pretty good costume. I made this one. Halloween's coming up. I haven't thought about what I'm going to wear. This is in my old apartment that had like the tatami mats. The plague doctor one. Yeah, it's a pretty good costume. I think anyway. What I did is I got like a scream mask, and then I made like a paper mache nose. And yeah, then I got this cloak. I love this cloak. It was so good. It was like so thick, and I would just wear it as a real item of clothing, like during the winter when it snowed. I wouldn't wear any shoes though. How is a plague doctor drag? This is not drag. It's a plague doctor. I wish I'd kept that costume. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. Let's see if there's any other interesting ones. Probably shouldn't reveal too much about myself though. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful about showing too much. SCP-0794. Which one's that? Which one's that? Should we read an SCP to close out the stream? What is this one? Oh, it's a plague doctor. Look at that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. This one is kind of cool. It's a Euclid status. It's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat one. Nice Rekieta picture. Show the blue man one. Oh, you mean the one where I blew myself? Yeah, I can show that. All right. Here's the one where I went as Tobias Funke from Arrested Development. I worked pretty hard on this costume. Look at this. It's like looking into the future. You can see the Costco pizza box in the background. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is inside my old house. Look at that. So the funny thing about this is I couldn't find any body paint. And so what I had to do is I had to get blue food coloring, and I used shortening to make my own body paint. And I was very happy with this book, The Man Inside Me. Which is very comic, very Arrested Development accurate to the show. And but in the show Arrested Development, so Tobias is trying to get into the Blue Man group, and he's always touching things and making blue handprints everywhere. And that because I didn't have proper body paint and I was using shortening and food coloring, literally everything I touched was getting the blue handprints everywhere. And it was in my house for weeks, months later. And when we were walking, and I would ride the train from Shiga, this is Shiga in the background, in central Japan, to Kyoto. It was like a 40-minute train ride where I was dressed up like this. And like as I went through the night, progressively more of this was coming out. and I was a big fucking mess. It was a disaster of a Halloween, but it was pretty funny. Well, yeah, I blew myself too early, so then I had a bit of a mess on my hands. I should have put on my costume in Kyoto instead. Then I would have had more paint on it. Yeah, you should live stream like this. Didn't Joe do that one year or something? I don't know. We'll have to see about that. That smirk, yeah. The mustache is actually like a piece of carpet. I found like a piece of like a square meter of carpet or something, and I just cut out like a mustache shape, and then I glued it to my face with like literal super glue. It was a very impromptu costume, but it was pretty good. It was, people got some laughs, and I would keep looking like I would look for some like blue shit and to hide behind, and I was like camouflaging in during the night, which was kind of fun because that's what Tobias would do in the show as well. Here's another picture of me as the paint gets worse. This one looks particularly grubby. So someone went as the TARDIS, and I went as the retardis. So there you go. Show us the Aladdin picture? No, not today. Not today. I look like such a scab here. So you can see the paint's like coming off. It's almost all off my leg. Oh, I got really drunk that night too, and I kept missing my train stop by falling asleep, and I left my phone on the train thing, so I had to go down to the end of the terminal to get my phone back. And I was dressed up like this, and I was asking the guy, like, can I have my phone? I think someone handed it into Lost and Found, and I got it. But yeah, maybe I'll do something special for like a Halloween stream or something. Who can say? Who can say? I haven't decided if I'm gonna do anything just yet. We'll have to see. Show the Gandalf at the gym picture. Oh, the muscle one. Wow, you know all the deepest lore about me, I am. So I remember when I showed you guys these, but let me see if I can find that one. That's when I was working out quite a bit. I'm not sure where that is. Let me see. Give me a second. I think I can find it. Actually, I was wearing the cloak, wasn't I, for that? I think it's in my private collection of photos. Maybe this one? Yeah, I found it. Here it is. All right, this is when I was diddy lifting when I was working. So when I was working as a teacher in Japan, they had a really good gym, but there was two problems with it. It was really cold because it was like no air conditioning. It was like a shed built on the side of a back of a door. Sorry, it was like the gym, and then there was like a shed, and that had all the weightlifting stuff in it. Everything was covered in rust. There was no heating or no air conditioning, so it was really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer. But I went from being a skinny armed twig man to lifting up to 405 pounds. It was like 4-plate deadlift. And then I went there, and it was so cold I would wear my wizard robe to keep warm while I was lifting, while I should have been working, but I was actually training. And then that's where this picture comes from. That's me, the muscle wizard. I was pretty happy with this, actually. I used to do this a lot, take pictures and then draw over them. But that's 405 pounds deadlift. It's not like double overhand grip. That's the only thing I don't like about this photo. It's mixed grip. But I eventually trained to be double overhand 400-pound deadlift. But I thought that was a pretty cool photo. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Although I'm wearing socks on this like thing. I was watching it, yeah, because like the ground was like, because it was just open to the elements, you would get like black stains on my socks from this. Almost Ralph weight, yeah. Socks wizard, yeah. I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Oh, okay. I've got one of my other Halloween costumes. One of my budget Halloween costume ideas. This one's a fun one, actually. This one's a fun one. I've got this is before I started lifting, when I was much skinnier. But just when I moved to Japan, because I was like 85 kilos when I moved to Japan. And I found Calorie Mate. So I'd only ever seen Calorie Mate before on the Solid Snake commercial from Metal Gear Solid 3. So I'd seen this picture before, and my brother loved Metal Gear Solid 3. So when I saw Calorie Mate, I had to reproduce this photo. And you can see the resemblance is uncanny. So I just had a scarf, the Calorie Mate, and I just put coffee over my face. So the beard is all just like ground coffee grounds. But I thought it was a pretty good. I think I nailed it. I think I did a pretty good job on this one. This is probably just like, this is like 1 week after I moved to Japan. So that's why my arms are so small. My neck is so small. The skinny Josh. This is cancer patient Josh. I think it's pretty good though. Maybe I'll do this one for Halloween. Although there was some really good Metal Gear Solid cosplays when I went to the cosplay competition in Nagoya. There was like a really good Metal Gear Solid cosplay. He had a box and everything. Looks a bit like Nick. No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't you bring that curse on me. Yeah, I know some people still have those photos and the thing. What's this one? Oh no. That's pretty funny. Excoma. In the chat though. Did I miss these ones? Let me see. We all know Meme and Max have a cosplay spider suit. What? Do we? Come on, that was taken by a Japanese schoolgirl you were chasing? No. Oh, that one? Okay, that's pretty funny. The one where I'm grabbing the camera. I see what you did there. Yeah, if you take that picture, the picture from the mountain, and then you put like a t-shirt on it. Hold on, there's a way to make this really funny. This one. Hold on, if we copy this image and we put it into the. If you take this image, there we go. You take this image. You take this image, and you just need to add like a few alterations, right? You just need to. All right, red. You need like a little a thing here, like a little circle. It'd be like I heart, and there'd be like Japan. You need that there, and you need like the you need the blue, right? Put the headband here, and then I guess we need white, and oh no, that's not white. Hold on. Oh, I can do the second mouse button, can't I? And then you need like the little Konoha thing here from Naruto. There you go. And that's me chasing after the Japanese women. Yeah, there you go. You got me. You got me, chat. And then Akaisuki said, "Revenge for calling me a Kiwi. Drag for Halloween." No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing drag. I'm never doing that. That's the one thing I won't do. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. I think that's all the good photos, though. I mean, there's other ones I'll just never show. I'll just never show you guys. That's a cute one. There's a picture of me with an elf. There's some good photos here in this secret collection of folders. That song about pegging? What is that? Did I miss something about that? What is that? I'm not showing everything. You have to go to the Discord to get the secret goodie stuff. So no, yeah, someone said they were sending me a song, but I can't remember where they sent it to me. AI song or something? Clips? Was it in a live show chat or something? Can't find it. It's in the tax folder. Yeah, it's in my tax folder. Josh could pull off drag if he wanted to. That's a weird thing to say. I guess I'll take it as a compliment. JD Vance still wears eyeliner. I think he's just naturally got dark eyes, right? I love that meme though, where it's like you've got the weirdos, like you've got the weird degenerate freaks, and they're just them saying JD Vance is weird. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty entertaining. All right, someone's sending it to me. All right, you guys still have time to like the stream while they send. I'll see. I reserve the right to not play it, but we'll see. We'll see what it is. Sometimes people send you stuff and they're like, "You got to play this. You got to play this," and then you just like, you obviously can't play it. We'll give them a second. We'll give them a second. All right, what is this? Implications of a setup. If I get a copyright warning, this is going down. This is not going to exist, okay? But get rid of those. All right, let's see what this is.
This message from a Norwegian prude. I was sent to take out a particular dude. Nick's been framed. It was all a dirty gay up. We had it all planted by a dirty gay cop. Mr. Rekieta has got to go, so a little plan was hatched by the local 5-0. No one in this town is even gonna know that we planted the guns and the mountain of blow. We're gonna lie under oath. Nothing you can do, so screw you both. Probable cause, who gives a fuck? We're taking down a whore and a big-nosed cuck. We have reason to believe
This is a
that
good one.
you're
I like this one.
warrant, so shut up, cuck. The judge signed the warrant. Mr. Rekieta had his rights violated while Kayla was getting her ass dilated. We're going to breach right through your door, then tip out your clothes and dirty the floor. Come out, hands up, we won't ask anymore. Dispatch, we have 4 kids, a hot wife, and a whore. We're going to lie
Spicy.
under oath. Nothing you
There's some pretty spicy lyrics in this song.
can do, so screw you both. Probable cause, who gives a fuck? We're taking down a whore and a big-nosed cuck. All these kids, they look too well. Make them look like they've gone through hell. Take that kid's nice clean shirt, rub them down with some shit and dirt. Make it look like the parents don't care, so plant some coke in that kid's clean hair. Stack up the charges, make them look like zeros. Plant all the empty cans of SpaghettiOs.
All right, that's a pretty good. This is some pretty fire bars, I have to admit. What's interesting now is like Nick was going through with Dick when they're doing the cope stream, and they were talking about how the cocaine test could be fake and yeah, there's always a possibility for a false positive, but that test that they're actually talking about, the cocaine metabolite test, is one of the very accurate tests. So Nick has said there's a good reason that we're going to hear very soon about why the cocaine test came through positive. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know.
Make sure to get his firearms. Don't even worry about Baldy Boy bonds. Plant an AR, stash it under the bed. Just another day of being a faggoty fed. Probable cause.
If you want to go see this is called Implications of a Setup. I'm going to give it a like. It's from Scan Lines on YouTube. They only have 24 subscribers. I'll subscribe to them right now. Look at that. All there. And they've got another song called Government Plot. Did I see or watch that Nick edit video on Alyssa Clips posted 2 days ago? It's 2.3 minutes long. Let me have a look. Alyssa Clips has got a work cut out for her. There's too much content that she has to watch. Only one woman. Well, let me see. Is that Scarebro Edits, Nick versus Nick, the chocolate starfish of the government? I did see that. You can see it on Alyssa Clips. That's a good one. That's actually a good one. Oh, what is this? What is this? Hold on a second. Looks like I would leave that there and copy that. Hold on, doing some behind the scenes work as I chill out with the chat for the last few minutes of the stream. There we go. Stick this up like that. There we go. There we go. Oops, I forgot to take this out. There we go. I think. There we go. So the question is Ralph going to fight? Is he actually going to fight? I don't think so. There's just no way. But Ralph actually is, as of like an hour ago, he's really going hard after Aaron. Like he has been doxing his house in his Telegram or something. So someone sent that through during the chat, but also it seems like they're hitting up. Looks like, I don't know. Is Ralph just being paid for this? It almost seems like he is just being Nick's paid man. Was the AL supposed to be Gail Schuler? I don't know. Let's see. Hair follicle test can be done with any hair on the body, not just head hair. You would have to wax every bit of yourself. Well, that's what I thought initially when I learned about the hair follicle test. But then someone said that it's not actually the hair itself, but the internal part of it. So even if you shave off the hair entirely, you can still get a positive reading if someone has been doing coke based on when it grows out again. Because I was thinking about that. Like, wouldn't it be funny if you just shaved your entire body to try and get away with it? Nick paid Ralph 20K. There's no way that actually happened. That's obviously just a joke on Ralph's part or a meme. I very much doubt that he actually received money from Rekieta. It is very funny to say. It's like when Ralph said, like, Nick Rekieta told me I could come on his grave. It's not against the law. It's kind of like that, where he kind of exaggerates stories and tells tall tales and things like that. So I don't think he actually did that. Did you see the Aaron video last night? Yes, I was watching it live with Sean on Potentially Criminal. I have to give props to Aaron. It's a big W win for the toe out there. Aaron is actually redeeming himself somewhat in my eyes. Just the fact that he showed up. He should have just gone. Like I don't know why Ralph was running scared. He probably would have gone easy on him. Like Sean was saying that Aaron was going to beat the shit out of Ralph. I don't think so. I think he would have at least taken his coaching duties seriously and just gave him some pointers. Maybe give him a couple of boxes around the head, but nothing too serious. You can bleach your hair and re-dye it the same color. I don't think that does it. I don't think that gets rid of the hair follicle test. Well, the $500 wasn't from Nick. It was from one of Ralph's super chatters. The photo of Aaron really bugged me out, like the optical illusion. Yeah, I know. Like the one with Aaron going to like the courthouse. It's like his feet. I forgot to mention that. It looks like that Biden picture where Biden is like he walks through the teleprompter or something. He walks through the mic. That one is quite weird. That's when you were lifting 250 kgs, and now you're just lifting your own 250 kgs. Yeah, I ate the weights. Very, very rude chat. By the way, 405 pounds isn't 250 kgs. It's 140 kgs. Come on now. You should know that. You should use British metric units, right? Actually, I don't know. Like, what do the Britons use? Do you have... What's your bench, bro? My bench isn't actually that good. I think the highest I benched was like 120 kilos. So what would that be? 2.2%, 2.2 times. So that would be 240 pounds or something. 245 pounds, something like that. I don't really work out arms. I just do the straight strength exercises. I basically just started doing starting strength and never stopped. So basically all I do when I go to the gym is I have like my A day where I go and do squats, bench press, and then Penley rows. And then my B day where I do overhead press, front squat, and deadlift. And I just do those exercises. It's really quick exercise. It only takes like 50 minutes to complete. And it builds a lot of strength. It doesn't build a lot of hypertrophy though. So it gets you strong, but it doesn't get you like ripped like anything. But I don't really care about that. I don't really want to, I'm not like going for the beach body or anything. I'm just going for strength. Just to keep healthy, basically. Most you got up to was 380. I know a lot of Americans focus on bench a lot, but like, unless you like fall over on a skateboard and then like the garage doors come into close on you, how useful is bench press really? There was these old comics called Functional Strength where people would get into these weird situations, which are pretty fun. But yeah, I never really bothered with arms very much. Like I never did really curls. I like doing like pull-ups and dips and things though. Like anything that helps me climb or makes me stronger, I like. But I don't really care about I don't really care about aesthetics as much. But yeah, it's fun going to the gym. Anyone can get strong. That's what's really cool about going to the gym. You can like double your strength in the first like 3 or 4 months, the noob gains they call it, and you feel great. You feel fantastic the first three to 6 months you go. Curls are for the girls. So that's what I said. I didn't want to be a girl, so I didn't do curls. Oops. Nick is talking about Cog's bussing video he made. It would be pretty funny if the court play it. It would be. Cog Life finally getting his dues being shown in the court. That would be pretty funny. Let me see. Bleaching hair does affect the test? Well, I guess maybe. I mean, bleach was suggested as one of the cleaning agents from the, from Militia Sweep. So maybe it does do something. It doesn't seem like it would, but who can say? Who can say? What about pull-outs? Hey, look, you can't do pull-outs unless you do pull-ins. So I never got an opportunity, as I am a virgin. I want to join the Gaijin Yakuza. No, I don't. The real Yakuza are kind of cool, though. They're really friendly. The Yakuza are really friendly to foreigners. And then you never get into trouble with them. Yeah. Mindset just started alive. Yep. That's why you could hear it in the background. I'm going to send you over the mindset. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for old Andrew to start. Why is he in Thailand? That's a bit suspicious, isn't it? According to Nick. Nick's really going hard on Andrew. All right, guys. I hope you had fun in the chat today. Andrew's talking about some weird Visa shit and MasterCard and Japan and VTubers. Some weeb shit. I know you guys are weebs, so I'll send you over there. Say hi to them for me, and I'll see you later. And go enjoy legal mindset. Legal mindset. More like legal